We know this government doesn't want to take action against that kind of content. They released 1% in total of the Epstein files, I believe. So to them,
and wasn't Trump in them 600 times? Like if you just looked for his name but added like a space, suddenly it appeared in the search and it was like 600. And I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, so I mean, this is certainly not a priority. If anything, they would prioritize protecting Elon Musk for allowing Grok to do this. And I'm sure that they used it themselves for that purpose, because our government is full of disgusting pedophiles, if not, pedophile protectors, if not pedophiles outright. So, yeah, it's gross. That's really disgusting. And
like I was like, these are the people who for years would label anyone who is their political rival a pedophile.
Yeah.
And then they're giddily creating the pedophilia content machine, and no one's going to do anything about it.
While having furry parties in the White House. Did you see that? They're having actual furry parties in the White House.
Was that the White House or Mar-a-Lago?
Oh, sorry, at Mar-a-Lago. And I was like, these are the people who lecture you nonstop about like furries are evil and satanic.
Furry parties? What's a furry?
Furries are people who dress.
Oh boy!
Wait,
here I go. I ain't been here 2 seconds.
Adults who have furry personas. They dress up like furry animals. They can have it can either be part of a role play thing, but it's like for the most part, the furry community is heavily vilified online. When they just seem to be a lot of people who have found a community and they get to hang out and have friends. Like there's nothing like I in high school used to have a lot of bigotry towards what are they? Bronies, is that their name? The My Little Pony fans.
Bronies,
You can't be a bigot to bronies. You could say you're prejudiced against them.
I was prejudiced.
But to the extent that you can be bigoted towards bronies, I don't think that that's necessarily unethical.
But honestly, I think furries get a really bad rap, and a lot of them seem awesome on the internet, and they're the ones that are usually parts of like the hacker teams that take down MAGA or expose Project 2025. So I got nothing but love for the furry community.
You aren't hurting anybody. Like what? Like
I don't care what you do every time.
Yeah.
The ones at Mar-a-Lago though are probably sus.
That's the thing.
That is weird. Why would you go? Yeah.
But we got to show Rebecca the video now. There was a full-blown like furry party at Mar-a-Lago, and there's video footage of it too. It looks like something out of The Shining. It is weird and haunting, and I'm sure the furry community like completely discounts it.
I didn't see this at all.
Oh, okay, all right, you're in for a treat.
Okay, look, I love when y'all could watch something together, because I didn't know what a furry party was, and I'd never seen this video, so this will be good.
We're all learning in real time. Because like I shouldn't say learning, because I've been familiar with the furry community, and like Lance, I have mixed feelings on it. It seems like it's just case by case. Some of them are. Oh,
that's not my stance. I said I was pro furry community. I'm not.
Oh, you were mixed on the bronies.
I was like going after these 50s. Come on.
You were mixed on the bronies at first. That's what okay. We're mixing up bronies and furries. That's going to be a problem. We're going to get roasted.
That is also a problem. I think the furry community gets an unfair amount of hate online, and I think most people who are furries are probably awesome. But because there are some shitty furries, like any community, it gets they usually are the ones.
Lance is out here saying he's going to be the Abraham Lincoln for furries.
I'll be the Lorax.
So these are just like
no, guys, that's creepy
furries,
though.
It is creepy.
That one is weird.
It's like right out of The Shining.
You guys try to say, we don't want to.
I feel like the furry community probably isn't happy about this. Like,
no, definitely not. Like once again,
MAGA furries. Like,
MAGA furries.
Yeah, you can't be at Mar-a-Lago and be a good person.
No.
But what's going on here? Like,
I don't know.
Like, what's going on here?
Someone must have paid for like some
Trump's
big party.
This is in Florida, right? At Mar-a-Lago.
All right.
These don't look like furries to me. The furries usually are like over the top, like
this is almost just like
These looks like something about the.
This does look like
they're
weird
planning
ass
something.
Shining type shit. Honestly,
Is it just like a few
like a
people?
mystery party where somebody's gonna end up unalive at the end. That's what it's giving.
It's like 3 people.
To
Like maybe
me,
like
I feel
no,
like
there's a
there's a
lot
crowd
more than
here
I
that-
thought. I thought it was like 2 or 3 people, but there's multiple different.
People in chat are saying it was for police and police dogs, and that's why they were wearing the dog masks.
Oh,
so they're just dressing
even
up.
weirder.
Yeah. To me,
No, listen, you guys gotta understand this furry party at the White House. No, I'm sorry, this furry party at Mar-a-Lago. It's for the police. I mean, that's just added layer of weirdness to it.
To me, I was getting a lot of swinger vibes, like where you put on your mask, you go in anonymously, you exchange keys, and you don't know who's under
like
the
a mask
mask, something
party.
like that.
Yeah,
Right.
like a masquerade, but like but so I said, but this looks like there was something devious about it. Gave that dark spirited something devious going to happen when the clock strikes a certain time and another.
They did the
mask
ritual
out of nowhere.
Yeah,
it
feel like a ritual was
coming. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what to think of that. I'm gonna assume they're all bad people because they're at Mar-a-Lago. But if this were just at like some park, then it'd be like, okay, well, you all have fun, kids. Just be safe and don't trip while you're wearing your mask. I don't know if you can see on those things, but at Mar-a-Lago, I hope they fall in the pool with the mask on still.
Like, why are they going there? Well, you got to be rich. I'm pretty sure, Donald Trump opens his property, everything's a business. So, yeah. And so I'm pretty sure that that's what they do. But it's just like the world is falling apart and you guys just want to come out. Well, for police officers, there are going to be, I thought police officers wouldn't even remember it anymore. ICE is taking over and all those things. But, yes, they party for police, police dogs and things like that. So.
ICE is like, my work here is done. We could sit back and watch the Gestapo terrorize communities now and get our popcorn. Like, we don't have to do anything. This is great.
That's good. Oof.
Is it like finally getting to a point where, because the stuff I'm seeing online makes it look like, even the libs are getting radicalized now. People who normally would be like, let's go for brunch are starting to post like, this is the first fire of the revolution, comrades, and stuff like that. And you're like, oh, hey, Will Stancil, what are you doing here?
Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely. I've seen a lot of that online too with, a lot of people are against the violent, we got to go in and figure out how we're going to do this violently. That's how things are going to get done. And you got I see the people who are online, friends of mine, colleagues of mine that are usually on the side of, and I'm usually in the middle of it, but like, we can go out here and we don't have to be violent. But that changed for me, like even 2020. But just to see them coming online now saying, because I know yesterday was a whole ordeal with one of the creators, one of my colleagues going online and saying, I just think that we should find a way to do this and we don't have to, be violent as well. But then somebody got shot last night. A Venezuelan got shot last night in Minneapolis. And another one of my colleagues was there and was live streaming it. And that was going viral and like all throughout the night until ICE was telling her to leave. And one of the girls that went viral for saying like, we shouldn't be violent. She was like, she takes back what she says. Like, see what happens. We don't know. We really don't know. The other day, right before New Year. So I ain't the other day. We've been 15 days in. But I was pumping gas with my sister and I did not know. So you know how where you pump gas at, there's like the opposite side and where you pump gas at, and they have the opposite side. I don't know what they do in Canada. Some places people pump gas for you. You pump your own here.
We pump our own gas.
We also have
gas. Good. So but yeah, so when I was pumping my gas, I looked over and white man, I live in a predominantly white area. He pumped his gas fine. And then he pulls out a little bit when I was getting into my car and I seen that it said, ICE, THS on the side of the car. And I'm like, I was walking back to the car like slow. I sat down in the car. I'm like, sissy, that's ICE. That is ICE. And I'm like, she's looking at me and she's like, oh no. And because I have the Haitian flag on my my rear view mirror on. She's like, we want Rebecca, just for right now, we're going to have to take that off. And I've been opposed to doing that because I'm like, I don't want to feel like I'm bowing down and, succumbing to these people and all this fear mongering. I don't want to. But the way I was like, I had so many feelings at one time. It was like, what do I do right now? Like, what if they stop me? What if he saw the flag? What if all that happened? But I'm like, they're in my neighborhood right now. They're around here. They're driving around. They might live around here. They might, I don't know. He might be just going, was pumping gas on his way to another city to terrorize another city. I'm not sure, but just knowing that they are here. They're here, and at any moment, what's happening in Minneapolis, or how they pulled up to Portland randomly, or all these other cities that they're trying to terrorize, going into Chicago in the middle of the night, and terrorizing children, those type of things. What they're doing at the schools, recently in Minneapolis with those kids, any moment that could happen. And then in the flash, all these thoughts are coming to me, and I thought, oh my God. My parents, right? They're at home and they're citizens now, but how are they going to combat that? Because they think that if they just listen to the police officers and say, okay, I'm a citizen, here's my paperwork, that's going to work. And as we've seen, that don't work. It doesn't mean anything. They're taking people, they're doing all these things. So all of that was just coming to my head. I'm like, Lord, what if, how would I have reacted if the Iceman came up to me and said something to me or grabbed me, or I don't know. It's very, very scary these days, especially right after seeing them. All of that starts to, we started to see all that. Even though this stuff was happening, we didn't hear about the Keith Porter Jr. story until Renee Good's story, unfortunately, was shown because that was live streamed, those type of things. They've been killing folks. They've been shooting at folks. Even within the facilities, we know that they're abusing them or not giving them medicine on purpose. And to me, that's a form of murder as well. So
people have died.
Just
last year, I think 30 people died in ICE custody. Mm-hmm. And there's, of course, not a lot of information around what happened to those people. And, they're purposefully not telling you. And you can imagine, we see what they do in public. Imagine what they do behind closed doors.
Yeah. In fact, we are getting a little bit of reports. I think this is still breaking, that ICE strangled somebody in one detention facility. This is a new developing story from a couple of hours ago. Yeah, and that doesn't surprise me at all. They keep invoking Renee Good. There's an Intercept article about this, how they're talking to people who are legal observers, just peacefully watching what they do, filming them, and they're saying, don't you know what we did to that lesbian bitch? They're saying this over and over again to reinforce this idea that we can kill you at any time. We have carte blanche to just delete you out of existence. And if that happens, then not only are we going to be protected by the regime, we're going to demonize you. They're trying to investigate Renee Good's widow. That's what the regime is trying to do. It's led to resignations and whatnot, but it just goes to show you that the brakes are off the bus. We're headed straight into a fucking wall.
And what I really hate is that they're looking for people who are within her family, or her children's family, her ex-husband's father or whoever. He was saying I don't think anybody on the side of it was wrong. He was interviewed saying I don't think that, what they did was wrong, or, what happened. They were doing their job. She was, unfortunately murdered that. I'm like, is this, and they're putting this out there. This is what's really scaring me, y'all, or what's really alarming. Immediately after they put out the video, mind you, we seen it though from everybody else who was live streaming, and it done went viral. So we seen it. Y'all putting something out, but they put it out from the body cam. Putting out from the body cam, we're watching, and saying that they dropped it under the guise of, y'all, he was hurt. He was hurt. You can see it from this angle. And it was no, actually, it lets us see that we were right all along from what we saw from the first angle. This angle actually helps us to see that. It's contradicting what you guys are reporting, that he was hurt, because immediately after, and you left that part in, he says, and I quote, fucking bitch, right? You fucking bitch. After you hear the car crash into a pole, that means after he took out his gun, shot this woman in the face, let off a few shots, shot this woman in the face. After it hits the pole, you hear him say, you fucking bitch. Okay. So, and then for them to even go further and say Turner bleeding, even though there is footage of him walking off. He wasn't hurt. It didn't touch him. And they went on. even though this is alleged, but they put out their own reports, and we just have to go with what they're saying, that he suffered internal bleeding. That is scary. But then what goes beyond that for me is the fact immediately the conversation started going into immunity. You have JD Vance saying they're going to have total immunity. It doesn't matter. They're doing a job for us and they'll have total immunity. Even though there was no law written or anything like that for them, he's automatically saying they good. He puts that out there. So these people who have, most of them are coming from backwoods, no education, hate in their hearts, given a gun, no true training, just literally given a gun as if there is a war out and they have to get it, anybody and everybody on out there to go and kill, steal, and destroy. They have no immunity. So now they're walking around. You have gun happy people in a country that has no gun laws, right? They have gun happy people who are coming around and ready to shoot people on sight. How come immediately after that, we heard 2 people getting shot? And right after that, the day after Renee Good, we didn't hear about Keith Porter Jr. out in California because the officer was off duty, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing is, how we see police officers, they still act like they got their badge on when they don't have their badge on, right? With the same thing applies to ICE officers, especially with the power that they're given today. So Keith Porter Jr., you have Renee Good, you have the 2 Venezuelans that were shot in Portland, Oregon, right after, and a woman and a man, I think a man and wife, they shot them both, saying that they were affiliated with the Venezuelan gang. But there was no footage on what happened. There was no, they didn't want to get the eyewitness reports. They didn't want to put that out there. We are going off of what DHS is saying. And then we have the Venezuelan who was running away, confused, who has a home, ran into his home and they shot through the door. But that's not what they were reporting to us. So in each instance, every one of the ICE agents are saying that they feared for their life. What I see too, what they're saying, because they said this with the case in Portland, Oregon, that the car, they felt like they were threatened by the vehicle.
Yep, they keep
saying
saying
that. With Renee Good. They're going to use that across the board. We're not going to have any confirmed information. It's going to be whatever they're saying and whatever they put out, we're going to have to go with. Imagine that type of immunity. So now they're going to be like, that person had a brush in their hands and I felt threatened. And that was enough for me to shoot them and their child and their family or whatever the case may be and their wife. So they don't care now. Women, children, anybody can get it. Stay out of my way. And I don't know how they're clocking folks. My colleague Georgia, she just put out, she's actually in Minneapolis on the ground right now. Georgia Fort, she's covering this thing. She lives there and she's been at every moment. She just covered how at a local restaurant, a man was going out to do his job. He was going out to take out the trash and then go into the utility closet they have outside, the utility trailer, to get some stuff to restock. And the DHS that was sitting out parked in Minneapolis at this restaurant got out, walked into the utility trailer, took the man, dragged him out. It's on video. And he's calling for help as they throw him down on the ice. Ice throws him down on the ice. And he's calling for help. And the restaurant owner put out the video himself because he's like, this is what's happening. They are parking places. That's why, and then it made me just go back to the gas station. I'm like, these people are camped out, parking somewhere. If you just look, feel, seem like, I don't know if they know people by name or they're just like, there are Hispanics that work here. Let's get the first one that walks out. Any of those moments, any of those things.
It's gotten to the point where there are so many videos now of them just walking up to black and brown people and asking for their papers, like this is Nazi Germany. In Minneapolis, they really are going door to door. They're breaking down doors. There was, I did a video about this earlier this week, but there was a woman who they broke down her door in Minneapolis and she was asking them repeatedly for a warrant. People outside, legal observers, were asking for a warrant and they said that they don't have to give them a warrant. And eventually, like after this all had taken place, she had showed reporters what they had given her after they had barged into her home, and it was not a warrant. It was not a judicial warrant signed by a judge. It was an administrative warrant, which is not the same thing. So they are literally breaking down people's doors without warrants, asking people of color for papers, and terrorizing people who are literally just like passersby. There's one story that I wanted to, there's actually a video that I want to play for you. So this guy right here, He lives in Minneapolis. He was just trying to. He has 6 kids. He was just trying to
Yeah,
get his
a
family.
6-month-old baby.
Yeah, he just wanted
Go
them
ahead.
to get out of basically the war zone, for lack of a better word. And ICE threw a fucking tear canister gas into his vehicle with his 6-month-old and a 2-year-old and the rest of his kids. And it took them minutes for him to convince them to let the ambulance administer aid. Like, even after they had thrown a fucking flashbang and a smoke grenade into his car, they wouldn't let medics take care of the children that they had injured. Like, this level of depravity cannot be, it can't be reformed. It can't be fixed. It has to be not just abolished, but like every single ICE Nazi has to be prosecuted, because the reason why they feel so emboldened is because they literally are secret police. Like, think about how much worse they are than the cops, right? As bad as cops are, you at least have some way to try to hold them accountable. There's a semblance of accountability, the possibility of justice, right? They have a name tag they wear, a badge number. You can report them. But with ICE, if some masked thug chooses to brutalize you or rape you, you can't even describe his face. They're all wearing masks. So there's absolutely no recourse. And on top of that, like, they all have immunity, according to Stephen Miller and JD Vance. But like, this story right here, this is the one that like made me lose my mind, because there's nothing that describes their depravity more than them not letting medics get to his 6-month-old. Like, this is crazy.
Officers threw flashbangs and tear gas in my car and made I got 6 kids in the car. But my 6-month-old can't even breathe. My 2-year-old then flipped out the damn car. This was flipped over. My car filled with tear gas. I'm trying to pull my kid out the car. I'm telling the officer I need ambulance. It took him 5 fucking minutes. He's going back and forth with me, telling me to go back in there and call and tell them to come up Lindale. They can't even come up Lindale.
Were you participating in the protest?
I wasn't at all. I didn't care to be, not to say it like that, but I wasn't. Like,
You were just here.
Yes.
You saw them and you were trying
Yes, I was trying to leave. Officers threw flashbangs and
Like, I can't get over this. I can't get over the fact that, like, let's just assume for a second that they had no idea that they were throwing flashbangs and a smoke grenade into the car. Not something you should do. That's not safe for adults, right? But after realizing that they injured children, to not let them get the aid to the kids is something that is just so beyond the pale, even for this regime. And by the way, all 6 of his kids had to go to the hospital. They're fine, thankfully. But it was serious enough to where they needed to get to the hospital because, if you have ever been pepper sprayed, I have not, but it is very, very dangerous. These are chemical weapons, and they should not be used so flippantly on civilians. But if you listen to some of this footage out there, it sounds like a war zone with, fucking smoke grenades going off, and just the way that they're opening fire on protesters. It really is like dystopian.
When you'll hear there's footage you'll hear where some of the ICE agents are like light their asses up. They're saying this.
Yeah.
They're saying light them up, light their asses up, and they're throwing grenades. And you'll hear them like exploding. On the first day or the day of the murder of Renee Good, there's footage of an ICE agent, bucking at one of the protesters, and he bucks back. And then he takes I thought it was a gun for a second. He takes whatever it is that shoots out the tear gas and shot him directly in the face.
I saw that. Yeah.
And that's one of the first things I saw out of the protest, but it was later on almost towards the evening. And the guy was so upset. His adrenaline was rushing because I'm like, baby, you just got hit in the face with tear gas. But he was so upset. You could tell he wanted to hit back. A person behind him was like, don't do it. Like, come on, you just got hit in the face. But even seeing that and how the ICE agent did that at ease, imagine as the next day you're hearing that you guys are immune. You guys have total immunity. So now it won't be picking up those weapons anymore. It'll be looking for the actual gun. Let me blow these people's faces off. Let me shoot them. Let me, I don't care who it is. If your kid's in the way, for an ICE agent to shoot into a home, where the lady's kids was. The Venezuelan man's wife is pregnant, and he shoots into the home. There's no care in the world for what they did to a white woman. So I said this last year, and everybody was like, "Oh, it ain't gonna be me. It ain't gonna be me." It can be anybody. They do not care. If you are in the way, if you are an ally, if you're protesting or anything, they do not care. Because the last thing that Renee Good said was, she's like, I'm not even mad at you or something like that.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And so for that, and when we seen when the gun being drawn out, those type of things, she's driving away. You hear her partner say, drive, get away. And then you hear a car crash, and then you hear, you FM. I don't care. These people are ruthless. And that same officer ain't on leave. This is where we got. This is beyond how the police officers, how it was going with them. We were in for justice. No, these people are back to work in the broad daylight. This one is unmasked. Don't give a damn, and they're like, yeah, I killed somebody yesterday, probably gonna kill a few more. These are people that have not been vetted, have no history of it's they're just going in and saying, I want to be an ICE agent. I know somebody who tried to become one, and I was trying to be my best to be very like, you shouldn't be trying to become one. And it was for money. It was because, hey,
they actually wanted to. They weren't like doing it for journalistic reasons.
It wasn't. No, not journalistic reasons. No, for money. For money.
My God, that's
and
evil.
I was like, listen, I gotta cut you off. I don't want to talk to you ever again. Whatever. They were telling me the process. I thought it was a joke, but then they told me the process that they were going through. And I was upset about it. I'm not gonna lie. I try to keep it cute, but I was really not okay with it. It's not my life. But they weren't even like. First of all, you're not even American, for real. But that's what they're doing. They're getting any of the people who like these. A lot of immigrants have this idea that Donald Trump likes me because I'm the good immigrant. I came here on a plane. I came here, I did the right things. I kept my head down and I didn't say anything. The other people are coming here. They're not my people because they're here doing evil stuff. But you guys don't even know who you're getting. You're getting somebody could be your uncle or whoever with an assumption that they've done bad. But just because you are wearing an ICE badge, nobody is doing any kind of research, there's nothing. They're just finding people, profiling people, stereotyping people, catching them that way, going into communities where they're going to be majority brown people or majority of this person in those communities and taking them. So this guy was telling me that as he was doing it, the process, he's like, I'm going in. They're giving them $50,000. They're offering $50,000 off top, and so, but they were doing extensive. If you were not from an American background, then they were doing extensive research with you. The white ones, no, they were getting in and going straight there. But if you had a background that was Hispanic, Haitian, whatever, then they're doing like, are your parents? The questions asked, are your parents like American? Or if you were to try to get your parents, what would you do? Like, what would be your first instinct? These are the questions that are being asked.
Wow.
And then I found out.
Give up your parents.
Yeah, they said that. Like, are you going to die? Are you willing to die for the American? Are you willing to die for the American? I don't remember the terms or whatever, but it was like that. And then he failed. Last I heard was that he failed everything because it won't work. I think it was a little like, no, I'm not gonna. We want to do that, and never because they make you take a test and they make you take a lie detector test, and at least them because the others, no. White folks just like put me in, coach, and they're in. But this is what I'm saying. Like this is where we're at now. I don't think, and some people might not like this. I don't know where we are with it. But I don't think people like Senator Cory Booker getting online and acting like he's doing something for us, and they should have stricter training. Baby, we don't want them to be trained. We do not want them to be trained. They're already insane. So to train them to shoot folks in a trained manner, military manner, why? No way. You're vetting them or whatever. You're still saying for them to be trained to go into these cities and do just this. So what they're doing, you're agreeing with, and you just think they should be trained to do so.
Yeah.
This is like the whole centrist like bullshit. Like, why are you trying to meet them halfway on their Nazi police? Like, it's so fucking stupid. It's insane that you could even try to argue that you should keep this going.
59 Democrats just vote for, or was it 59 Democrats who voted no to pass the budget? Now it's going to be going to the Senate, but there was like a whole bunch of Democrats who've seen everything that's going on right now between, like, you know, the invasion of Venezuela, the impending invasion of Iran, the destabilization, the ICE, you know, Gestapo, and then they were like, yes, let's fund this. This work.
Not only that, I'll do you one better, Lance. 75 Democrats in 2025 voted to express gratitude to ICE.
Oh,
lovely. 75 Democrats.
And 2025 was 15 days ago.
Oh, right. So yeah, we have a Democratic Party that is completely complicit. I mean, this guy, Sri Thanador, he just introduced legislation to abolish ICE. Last year, he voted to express gratitude. They're all playing us. Like, they're all lying. Like, they are... So many Democrats who voted for the Lake and Riley Act, which enabled ICE to violate the due process rights of immigrants, are now talking about how we need due process. How do you reconcile that? We have two parties. One is fascist. The other is a fascist collaboration party. Not all Democrats. Some are doing a good job. The Congressional Progressive Caucus is trying to use the little leverage that they have to cut ICE funding. But Democrats just, if leadership isn't going to lead the way, then what's going to happen? Well, they're going to get the fascists are going to get what they want. So this agency that's been around since, like, what is it, 2003, 2005? I can't remember when it was made. Like, it was
after 9/11. It was like the majority of Democrats who are voting on this kind of stuff, they were alive before it existed. They have lived in a world before ICE, and yet they're still like, you know, well,
we can't get rid of it. That's completely out of the parameters of respectability. We can't get rid of it. We have to have ICE. The best that we get from Democrats is, well, let's just train them better. Motherfucker, it's not the training that's the problem. We're talking about Nazis. So many people in ICE, they are former Proud Boys, former Oath Keepers, former 3%ers. So there was a leak.
Tario, whatever his name.
Enrique Tario, leader of the Proud Boys, is a fucking ICE agent now. And, like, somebody made a really good point about this on Twitter. They said, do you remember how, like, you'd see these U-Hauls drop off like a bunch of Nazis at any drag queen event or protest? Well, that's not happening anymore. The Nazis didn't go away, though. They're just showing up as ICE agents.
That's so true. I haven't heard about the Proud Boys.
That is facts. We haven't seen them little people with the, you know, hoods and the rallies going around and all the people. They have now been directed to go straight into ICE.
It was a jobs program. It was a far right jobs program.
Literally. We've institutionalized the fucking Proud Boys. We've institutionalized all these far right militias, and now they're doing exactly as you would expect them to do. They've been, like, right wing extremists have been unleashed on the streets. Oh, and I want to bring this up. Reporting from Ken Klippenstein. You all should definitely subscribe to his Substack if you haven't already. So he revealed 21 different programs from ICE, and his reporting confirms that ICE isn't just about immigration enforcement. It is about cracking down on Antifa. It is about cracking down on left-wing extremists and basically anyone who's anti-Trump. So this is basically the personal paramilitary Gestapo of the president. They are used to terrorize his opponents, to terrorize cities. He's threatening to cut off funding to blue states if they have any cities that are sanctuary cities. He is wreaking havoc on the country right now. And I just feel like this is really unsustainable. Like, I don't know how we can tolerate this for, 3 more years, especially when there's just no opposition. Democrats are not even trying to put up a fight. It's just crazy to me. Like, the best thing. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate some of the Democrats who are saying, just take some photographs, make sure you're watching, because this is all going to be used for their future prosecutions. But I mean, we all know that the second Democrats actually take back the House, like, are they actually going to do anything? They won't use what little leverage that they have in funding fights, and that's all that they have. But they refuse to use it to claw back any funding from ICE. And it was God, what is her name? Rosa DeLauro. I can't remember. It's the Democrat lady with like purple hair, and she was criticized because she refused to commit to funding or trying to defund ICE. And she came out afterwards and was like, there's so much misinformation going around about me. I do not, mark my words, I do not support increasing ICE's funding. And it's like, wait. We're not saying that you want to increase the funding. We're asking you to grow a spine and decrease their funding, or at least try to decrease their funding. And before that, she wasn't even talking about attaching riders to it to try to get them to unmask. Like, you could shut down the fucking government and say you don't get a penny unless you make sure these thugs can't mask for now, unless we claw back the funding, like anything. And we get nothing. Cory Booker was on MS Now talking about how, well, you know, we couldn't hold the party together for the shutdown, so... and you just like... Oh, so you're just not going to try? I mean, can't you try to make others in your party fear the base? Like, is there not any attempt to even fucking try? Like, get caught trying, for fuck's sake. And we just get nothing. So meanwhile, the country gets terrorized. We have this Gestapo asking for the papers of black and brown people. These are the constituents of the Democratic Party. These are the constituents of Republicans as well. And this is happening, and we're just supposed to like tolerate it for 3 years. It's outrageous. I don't even know what to say. Like, this is all like so mind-boggling to me.
I've seen they don't even want to do defund ICE because they're like, but what about the optics? No. What about the optics? I was like, they're shooting people in the face. Like, what optics you need? Like, I think now is the time that someone should come forward and be like,
when is it going to be the right time? When they shoot a baby in the face on camera? Is that when it's going to be the right time? This is how I felt about when it was the children, not was, because they're still doing that. The shooting up schools, right? When is it going to be a right time to speak about gun control? Now, this is even a bad time to speak about gun control because you guys are just giving these people willy-nilly the ability to just go up folks and shoot them. But this is not, like you said, it's not only, it starts with the immigrants. As soon as you see immigrants, it's on site. If you look like one, it's on site. You just got to go. We don't hear nothing you got to say. You're going down. But then it's like the person who says,
right.
The person who's on camera yelling, shame, shame, shame. Now it's going to have the ICE agent turn around and be like, oh, so you want to be like, you be like, hey, what it is? Okay. All right. Now they're invoking her name, right? Disrespecting her. And what's crazy is they know they're not going to mention Kevin Porter because they're like, yeah, that was a black man. We don't give a damn. It doesn't matter. But if you think that you're going to be an ally to the people that are anti-Trump, you're getting got too. Like, as you were saying, it's not only, it's going to be, of course, the umbrella is going to be the immigrants, but then you're going to have the people who are allies to the immigrants. Then you got the people who are going to be LGBTQIA+. It doesn't matter. Anything that is on the anti or Donald Trump is anti of, that is going to be the target. Those are going to be the targets. It doesn't matter if they're walking down the street to get to the immigrants. If LGBTQIA+ folks are in the way, they getting got. This is what it's going to be. So I don't know. Like we were saying, it's getting so bad. We say this, but this is actually happening in real time right now as we speak. Minneapolis is under attack. They are not sleeping. The kids are not going to school. The kids are being attacked by ICE as well. So parents are having to protect their children. People are having to choose to not protest to keep their kids away from that stuff. Like that man that was trying to get up out of there, but ended up getting caught up in there. And ICE is in the way. Again, you gonna be in the way to ICE. He was black. So they're like, you just in the way. You have to be with these people. You got to be an ally to these folks. And he said he ain't got, this is the thing too. I understand the folks that are not going out to protest because they don't know if they're going to return back home. They don't know if they're going to be returned back home. So this is one of those things it's so scary. It's happening right now. And I can't really sleep because I just keep thinking about my mom and them back home. And I know somebody mentioned like in Florida, if they disappear them, nobody's going to care because it's Ron DeSantis. Camp out here in Georgia is one and the same. You got all of these folks from here up to Texas, up to whatever. California, this happened in California last year. What was January? Fires were happening. People were fighting about immigration. we are now in January of this year. This is a year later, and they're on the ground in Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
Minneapolis.
There's nowhere to
run.
on
the ground.
I mean, red state, blue state. In these, they're targeting blue states in particular, where in theory you should be more insulated. But you see, like, you look at mayors like Jacob Frey, just completely, just fucking useless. Oh, get the fuck out of Minneapolis, ICE. Like, people were applauding him for that, but it's like, okay, great, you use naughty words, but what are you doing to get them out? Are you getting the police officers to arrest them? No, he doesn't want to do that. He won't even commit to abolishing ICE. He was asked about this on Fox News. He says no. So the best that we get is, you better not do that, ICE. You better leave. Well, they're not. So are you going to protect your citizens or not? Are you going to actually take a stand and put your own fucking ass on the line or not? And the answer is, obviously, they're not. They're letting it happen. Somebody says, if only Omar Fateh had won. This is why centrists, take note, this is why you never vote for the centrists, because every single time, 10 times out of 10, they will fuck you. They do not stand up to fascists. Omar Fateh would have stood up to the fascists. Jacob Frey is not standing up to fascists. It's so frustrating to watch this because there's no recourse again. Like, when you have the secret police kidnapping people, abducting them, dragging them from homes, you should be able to seek out help from the mayor or city council members or your elected officials. But they're not helping you. They're useless. And again, there are some exceptions, some progressive Democrats that are actually doing a great job at trying to, claw back funding. But for the most part, most of the party is not doing enough to resist fascism. And that's really, really frustrating because, if you have no opposition to what's happening, then they're just going to run roughshod. And that's exactly what they're doing. And we're seeing, the chickens come home to roost. It looks like Nazi Germany. It's very, very horrifying.
And people better not act like it's not happening. I think what feels right for people, or what used to feel right for people, is to be like, it's not happening to me. It won't happen to me. So that felt right to just, remove themselves, for at least say, hey, that what's happening, recognize what's happening is bad, but this is not going to affect me because there's nothing about me that's immigrant related, or, why would ICE come around to me, whatever. And now it's like a wake-up call, and people have no choice but to be like, especially again when a white woman is killed on camera and then they put out the footage for you to see it at a better angle, right? And for you to hear that she's being called a bitch. In America, everything is effed up. And then they wanted to say she is queer. They didn't use queer. It says she's LGBTQIA, or she's people relating it to trans, people saying all this other stuff. They wanted to criminalize that. So that was the first thing that you heard when they were trying to describe her or giving a description of her. Once you white woman, they're like, wait a minute, not one of ours. But they had to say, wait, but she's part of the LGBTQIA. And it was like criminal, she should have died. And that's the problem. They same way that we saw.
Yeah, she was just a lesbian. Her life didn't matter. Trump called her wife her friend. Her friend was very disrespectful. That's her wife. It's just they try to make it they make it okay that she was killed because she wasn't one of us conservatives, right? She was a white woman, but she wasn't one of the good white women. She was trying to get justice and accountability.
Did you see CNN and CBS putting out those articles where it's like she apparently attended meetings that were controversial and were anti-ICE or something? I was like, who gives a fuck if she attended the anti-ICE brigade? She shouldn't be shot in the face. Like, at the very bare minimum. Like, why are you showing everyone this? Like, oh, here's another angle. This makes it look really bad. I was like, for you, unless like all of a sudden, oh, well, that justifies shooting in the face. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, some mean things were said to you. Oh, the mean words for the ICE agents, right? And it's like that wasn't even the person who was executed. That's her wife. that's her wife speaking. She's being so respectful, like, oh, I'm not mad at you. Don't worry. I'm just gonna back out of the way so you don't hurt me.
And they know, like all the gaslighting about the video. I'm sorry, they know that that agent was not hurt. He didn't even have a fucking scratch on him. They know. They're lying.
Internal bleeding, apparently. I don't know if you saw.
Internal bleeding, yes.
CBS has reported, yes, that officer suffered internal bleeding as a result of the incident. Kind of like how if you say the word fentanyl and there's a cop in the room, it can hurt him. Just the word. If you say the word alone, cops will just fall to the ground. So don't say the word fentanyl around a police officer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's the girl's name? Oh, Caroline Levitt, the one with the lip fillers, and she's pregnant.
Yeah,
So she's the one. If y'all see recently, I think it was today when she was doing the press conference, and she asked the journalist. I want to say the Australian. He had an Australian accent. I could be so wrong, but she asked him, and she says, you know, he's questioning her about Renee Good and what's happening in Minneapolis, as a lot of the journalists in there should have been doing. And she says, she then asked him a question. Do you know why Renee Good died? And he basically answered and said, yeah, because Donald Trump is a piece of shit. No, but because of what Donald Trump got going on, they murdered her. Basically, you know, he answered back in that way, and that's not verbatim what he said, but in essence. And she was like, no, you should. Oh, wow, you're the leftist group. You are the Antifa, whatever she was yelling. She was yelling all kinds of things. She said, you should not be here in this room. You are not the media. You're fake news. And you shouldn't even be in here with the room of journalists. You're not a real journalist. She went in because that man said, this is what I think. This is what I know Renee got killed for. She got murdered. So this is what I know. So I need the answers on what y'all gonna do about it. How is, you know, as a journalist should. And she wanted him to say, as he's a part of the KKK media that's in the room, to say Renee got murdered because she was anti-Donald Trump, and so that's why she got murdered. If he would have answered like that, she would have been like, exactly, as you know, and then continued on with answering any questions that he might have had. But because he was trying to get them to understand, like, why was she murdered? Like, you know, what y'all gonna do next since y'all done murdered her? So who's next, basically? And she was just going in, like, disrespect. That's, for me, that's showing that she knows damn well they're wrong, but that doesn't matter. But this is what we're going to see more and more of. They're going to attack. They were so, like, how did this person get past anything? Because who's supposed to be in this room is supposed to be right wingers. Because remember, they took away passes from many of the mainstream media folks or independent journalists who are usually in those rooms as White House press journalists for years. Different local newspapers, all these things, different media companies for years. And they took away their access and gave it only to right-wing folks. And here we're seeing now she got mad because she was looking like, how did this niglet slip through the cracks? How did this happen? And my thing is, like, if they're going to be removing our voices or removing our access to these rooms and stuff, it sucks, but at the same time, it's like, nah, we gotta make sure that we keep, however they snuck into the room, hey, Ariana, however they snuck into the room, they gotta keep on doing that, because I love to see Caroline just really melting, you know, her lip work dissolving right in front of us, like all of the things. And but at the same time, like I said, the immunity part of it, all of that BS is what really scares me the most, because not only are they controlling the narrative, they're having these press conferences and making sure that the Nazi journalists are in the room to be able to control what is posted or put out, what people can see across the board. God forbid they start to control what we post online, because they're already suppressing what we post online. Some things of ours are going to be, people can see them, and then we'll post right after and nobody can see it. And they're going to make sure they suppress your voice, your platform. And it sucks because, you know, we know that the people who run these platforms have some kind of relationship with this administration, have given to this administration in some form as well. And so at any time, will Donald Trump say, you know what? Leftist group can't be on this ad no more. Now I got to go.
That's what I'm waiting for too, Rebecca. Because I mean, think about it. Meta, Mark Zuckerberg. You've got the Google CEO and co-founders, all Trumpy. Yeah, Amazon, Jeff Bezos owns that. They own all the social media platforms. Ellison's TikTok, Musk Twitter. So as soon as Trump really understands how much shit talking we're all doing, we're gone like that. They will Thanos snap us the fuck out of existence. So that I'm just like waiting for the hammer to drop, because I feel like at this point in time, that is an inevitability. Not so much like this idea that we're all going to be suddenly banned, but I think to Rebecca's point, just shadow banned or deprioritized in the algorithm. Because what's funny is that Facebook, earlier in Trump's second term, they said something to the effect of, we're allowing hate speech. We're not going to throttle political content anymore. Guess what? They only meant for right-wingers. because left-wing content is still very much being throttled. And
Yes.
they're tipping the scales against us, because obviously if you're on the left, you're challenging power and they do not want power challenged. If you're on the right, you're bootlicking the powerful, and they want to promote that. They want people that reinforce this idea that billionaires earn their money, they deserve it, and that fascism is good and ICE are heroes that we should bow down to and lick their boots. So I think that's actually a legitimate concern that you're talking about, Rebecca, because like I've thought about that as well. It's like, what do we do when that happens, if that happens, because there's really no alternative that's prominent enough, that's owned by a non-fascist. They have all kissed the ring of this administration.
It's true.
So we're kind of up shit creek without a battle if that happens, but you know, nevertheless, we keep going on.
Like the control is just so apparent though. Like they don't give a damn. Well, I talked about it, and every time I feel like, you know, I just am very, like I could see the future a little bit. So I've covered a story on it, and then it'd be like they're going to me and Ben has been like, I've been covering this like since 2016. We've been like on and we've been foreshadowing what's to come, but we didn't know when, how, and here we are, and it's just so strange to be living in it. But at the same time, it's like we said it. Now what are we gonna do with it? Like, how are we gonna do this now? How are we gonna, like, what happens next? It's just like, how do we mobilize for this? I know I think like right now we just got to think about what it looks like for our communities, for our families, if you have immigrant family members that live here, those type of things. But I seen a friend of mine, Kevin, he was like, he bought whistles for people in his community so that they can,
that's smart,
you know, alert each other on how, you know, when, you know, ICE is in the neighborhood or something like that. I think that's cool. So I know people who are feeling overwhelmed and wondering what they want to do, even though they're probably not out there protesting, little things like that. Like, I think if you can just in your community, what you can do for them, I think those would be good to start where you are, because I know it's really overwhelming and people just want to know how they can help or how they can protect their own family. I know a lot of people were giving some advice in the comment section, but like I'm telling my mama, you can't, I understand, Mom, but walking around with your documents was what I told them last year. Right. And now we're seeing that documents ain't even working. That's just not enough. You know, they can't hide their accent or the language they speak. They live in a place that a lot of people predominantly speak Haitian Creole everywhere they go. And then they have an accent. My mom hardly speaks English. So, you know, it's one of those things I'm just like, I really don't know what to tell them over there. And so I don't know. It's just something that I have to sit with them and really talk to them about, because my mom just started bringing my passport, updating that, and, you know, telling them that I'm a citizen. I had to my mom, I was interpreting for her for a job interview for nursing. And they called me and I was interpreting. And the man was just like, does she have her visa? I said, she doesn't need that. She's a citizen.
Oh my God.
Well, we still need that proof. We were going to need that proof. I said, well, it's easy. You can look it up. She's a citizen. I'm not giving that proof. But then my mom was like, you know, telling me in Creole, like, don't even worry about it. Just give them the proof, you know, because I need the job, you know, whatever. But I'm like going back and forth with the person, like, she's a citizen. I said she's a citizen. You actually can look that up. You're on your own with her personal information that was given to you. So you can look that up. I'm not giving you any of the information. My mom was like, just do it so I can get this job or whatever. But it's not even enough when I do that. She's never been asked to give that type of information. But here they were like, just because she has an accent, and you know, she doesn't speak English, but she'll be working with the Haitian client, we still need her visa. Like, we just assume that she have her work papers. They asked if she had her work permit or what. I'm like, this lady been here all these years. Like, she's a citizen, but it's not going to be that no more. They're probably going to go harder on her. And I just don't know how my mom would handle that. I don't know how my dad would handle that, because he likes to think that he's like keeps his head down, but I just don't know what that would look like, because people just getting shot through the door, people. And, you know, when you panic, you just working and they finding you at work. You literally are just going out and doing your job. You think that's keeping your head down, and they're camping out until they find some fresh immigrant blood doing their job.
I'm sorry, Rebecca. That's so sad that your parents have to deal with that. Like, it's infuriating that, like, this is just the culture now. Every single person without white skin is just suspicious. One thing that I will say that you can do to help, though, if you're a white person, is to use your white privilege for the greater good. If you go on like local groups or join DSA or try to find some left-wing group, one thing I see a lot more of,
or deliver food to people who can't go shopping.
Yeah,
right now.
I was gonna say, if you can go grocery shopping for immigrant families who don't want to leave home, that's something that can really, really make a difference. In Hillsborough, this is like a city near Portland, it has a very large Latino population, and the community is like doing neighborhood watches where they're walking kids to and from school because the parents are too afraid to leave. They're buying groceries for immigrant families because they don't want to leave the house. If you can help them with that, that's an easy thing that you can potentially do. Just, dedicate a couple of hours. Sometimes it's hard to get in touch with people who need that help, but if you are able to tap in to like local activist communities, then maybe you'll be able to do that, because people don't want to leave their houses right now. And it sucks because some of them, they have no choice. They have to work. But this fear is permeating throughout communities across the country. There's a TikTok that I feature in my video that comes out tomorrow of this Walmart worker, and she says every Sunday that's when the families come in to go grocery shopping. And last week she didn't see a single family because she lives in a Latino population, a Latino community, because nobody wants to leave their houses because they don't know what's going to happen. Even if you don't encounter ICE, like you could encounter 20 different Karens that might want to call ICE on you. Like nobody feels safe. If to watch over their shoulders. It's such a sickening, disgusting situation. I'm so fucking pissed off that this is the climate. It's toxic.
It's toxic. It's scary. They want it like this for a long time. They know that when they push us to the point of fear, it's going to make us feel like we're up against the wall. We don't have any options. And they're continuing this by, mind you, this is, we hosting the World Cup, okay? Where it's a lot of Black and brown folks who gonna be outside, right? Haiti, I know they had Haiti, we are restricted ban country. Iran, same thing. Like there's this whole idea that these people are not good enough. We're gonna host the World Cup with the greatest.
Gonna have a fucking field day. I worry.
Exactly. So a lot of people are afraid. Atlanta's having a game, soccer game against Haiti and Morocco here for the summer, and Haitians already were like, we can't come from Haiti. So all the Haitians locally are like, oh, we're going to go. We're going to make sure we contribute and things like that. But now a lot of people are all saying, you know what, I might give my ticket back, because what if I'm in line for this game, ICE gets out there and attacks us? This is what they're thinking. Like, we can't do that. My mama said for church, she lives in Florida, and she leads the Sunday service. She said a lot of them came recently within the last 5 years. She said nobody came to church on Sunday. Nobody came to church. Nobody came for anything. And the church is where they get their resources and all the things. And they didn't come for a bag of food. They didn't come for their light bill money that they were raising for them. They didn't come for anything. Like, they just didn't come. And speaking of that, right now, so they're trying to limit and fearmonger once again, with the 75 countries being on a list, basically, to restrict their visas. No visas, right? No visas coming into the country. And most of these countries are Black and brown countries, of course. And with that whole thing, the reason why they're giving, and I did a story on this, I just dropped it today, run the numbers up. But with that whole thing, it is the reason why Marco Rubio in France gave is because public assistance. So it's to bring out anything to make the Americans, especially the right, believe that they are coming here to take our public assistance. But that can't be, because anybody who knows or comes from an immigrant family or is an immigrant understands that when they get here, baby, we can't get no resources, especially within the first few years here. They want you to be self-sustainable and prove that you can be that before you touch anything.
Free houses and free hospitals.
And then usually
a house.
With none of that. We don't get any. There was none of that. Anytime that my family, when I was growing up, needed any resources, where would we go? Again, I told you, we went to church. We went to any of these local things that they were putting together for us to get some food or to get whatever. There was community driven stuff, but it was never from no public assistance from the state. And mind you, because I always got to say, mind you, I say this in my video, public assistance is also, tax folks. That's where, all the things. Haitians All these immigrants, all these folks come here, they work. They work a job, and guess where taxes come out of when they work in that job? It's coming from their checks, but they can't get the public assistance, right? But you who think that they're taking your public assistance, you're getting that. The ones that ain't, them folks that ain't working and stay on public assistance, them backwoods white people that's just staying on they $2 checks that's coming in the mail every other which way, just toothless. Y'all worried about your public assistance being taken from these immigrants. Meanwhile, there's no access for them to do that. There's just none. But they're paying for you to go ahead and not take care of your 2 teeth that are left. Like, that's just what that is. And my thing with that is people are going to walk around and preach that like it's gospel. They're going to walk around and tell folks those, countries, yeah, definitely no visas for them. So I know, I know it sounds bad that their families can't come here, but they're stealing our public assistance. They're going to walk around and do no fact checking. Nothing. Misinformation is going to be all over the place when there's already law in place to take care of the thing that they're fear mongering about. So this ain't nothing new, but they're going to choose this and they're going to say this is why. Marco Rubio said at any point we should be able to revoke people's visa statuses in before and after they get it. Like, it doesn't matter. We should limit it because if they're doing anything bad. So for them getting public assistance, even if that's not the case. But even if that were the case, that would be considered bad, and they would need to leave the country for that reason.
They're just so demonic. I don't know how else to describe them. They're so demonic, and
demonic is the word. Demonic is the word. They are.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
we're
not dealing with normal people. Like, we're dealing with fucking actual demons who are sadistic. Like, I genuinely believe that they relish in people's pain and suffering, and they really get like this sense of power by making everybody fear them, by making immigrants fear for their lives and their safety. Like, I don't know how to handle this. I'm sure it's hard for everybody to process it. On another note, I'm gonna try to do this every single week, try to bring some palate cleansers, because I feel like the episodes out of the next couple of months are going to be very depressing given the news cycle.
Yeah.
So nice of you. You brought bright spots.
I'm doing my very best to bring palate cleansers. I have 2 this week. I'm already looking for more for next week. So the first one is just some nice little, so we didn't get to talk about this during the break, but there was a bunch of right-wing infighting, and I really, really was chomping at the bit to talk about this. I enjoyed all of your episodes about this that I watched. But we have the latest banger from Candace Owens, if you guys wanted to watch
the time traveling one?
Yeah. I haven't seen this.
So I read the synopsis of the person who tweeted this, and they're like, yeah, she's saying that Charlie Kirk was a time traveler. And I'm like, okay, sure. I'm sure that's exactly what she's saying.
In the Matrix.
And I watched the video, and I'm like, oh, no, that's literally what she's saying. Like, because, sometimes when people share these videos on Twitter, they're a little bit hyperbolic. But no, it's what she says. So I just want to play this for everybody so we can bask in the glorious insanity here, because I feel like as good as Candace was doing at dividing the right, we're reaching diminishing returns because of how crazy like she's going.
Oh, so her numbers are down, way down. She's got like 60,000
really?
Oh yeah,
no way.
This will sound to most people like an insanely high amount, because it is. Don't get me wrong, 60,000 live viewers is a lot. That's kind of like what Tim Pool gets. But she was getting, at the height of like this drama, I think she peaked at 300,000 live viewers. Like she was getting 150 to 200,000 live viewers, no problem for a while. She was like the titan of right-wing media. She beat every old like white supremacist at the game of white supremacy, all of them. Like she was the number one podcast, number one worldwide for a while. So she peaked. And now is
wow. What a quick fall! As quickly as she rose, she falls. It's crazy. But yeah, get a little of this shit.
Why did Charlie think he was a time traveler? He said, as I showed you in earlier messages, that he was a time traveler and he had to find me. Is that just something people are saying to their homies in text messages? And again, not anything that I would have placed so much emphasis on back when he was saying it, but it came to fruition. The other parts, he did die young. Why did he think that him dying young was necessary in order to change things? He did die young. It is related to Turning Point USA in some way or another. At the very least, we could all agree it's related to him speaking at a campus event for Turning Point USA. I'm totally occupied by this. I tell you, I read these messages and I'm going, what is this? What is reality, actually? And Charlie died. Yes, like I said, it was related to this organization. And I think we would all agree that his death and the manner that they did it changed the world in ways that I don't think we can fully realize, or certainly not in a way that I can articulate. You just cannot pretend that all of this is one big unhappy coincidence. It's entirely plausible, I think plausible, that they knew something about Charlie. And that's why they had him marked and had him monitored and had him likely followed since he was young. And maybe they thought, like the agents think, that if they swarmed him and they stayed with him and they pretended to be his friend, that ultimately they could control Charlie and perhaps change an outcome. They could literally change an outcome related to Charlie. So when for the first time in his life, because I do believe he was managed, I mean, I've already said I was handled. I didn't recognize that I had agents. And for the first time in his life, Charlie peeks his head up and starts to push back in a meaningful way. They couldn't stop him from becoming bigger. That seemed to be inevitable. But they panicked. They seem to have panicked, right? I mean, this is just starting to happen within a year when Charlie's going like, hey, man, I don't actually think this. I don't actually believe this. And then he goes, you know what? Take the money. Take the money out of the organization. And they panicked. They freaked out. And their solution was, no, just kill him. Just kill him.
I feel like she's confusing the plot from the Umbrella Academy with reality. She doesn't know
multiple movies and TV shows.
Yeah,
she's losing it. She's losing her mind.
She really is losing it. And like to the extent that Charlie Kirk texted her that he was a time traveler, I'm sure it was like
she was like the text was so she really meant that the texts were coming, like she's reading these texts in real time.
It seems like she was.
That wasn't a dream.
Back. Oh, yeah, she didn't clarify that. The interpretation that I got was that she was going through her old texts with Charlie Kirk, and she just kind of dismissed him calling himself a time traveler. I'm assuming she thought that he was joking, but no, she's realizing now that there's a reason for all of this. He came back and had to die. He had to sacrifice himself young, like Jesus, if you will, for the greater good, to serve some purpose.
It goes so much deeper. I watched like the full hour of this entire thing. I learned about something called the Mandela effect, a conspiracy theory involving the Looking Glass program by the CIA. So apparently, based on ancient Sumerian texts, which were discovered, the information in the Sumerian texts allowed humans to build technology that could let us see through wormholes and see into the future, which was then utilized to create future technology and see the world in reverse. And she's saying because of that, during that time period, people were able to manipulate timelines. And now she's starting to realize that Charlie Kirk may have been able to know everything that was going to happen before it was going to happen, including his own assassination. That's the best summary I can give of it in terms of what I could actually understand and process. And I was like, I had so many tabs open at the same time trying to learn what this all meant. I was like, wait, Sumerian tabs, hold on, wait, Mandela effect, reverse time portals, oh my God, CIA program.
There's so many threads. It's like Charlie in the mailroom meme.
So it just equals that she's crazy. She's losing her shit. That was clearly, I heard that could be your former lover. Now I'm really like a believer, right? She's not beating the allegations. Because why, you got kids and a husband. I know that was your friend. Why are you going through his text messages? Where's your husband? Like, go and get solace from your husband. But that's her business. She's not beating the allegations. But for people are watching that, even though it may be 60,000 plus or however, it's not the 300,000 that she used to have, 300,000 folks, but these people are probably feeling the same way she is. A lot of the right, because they really didn't give a damn about Charlie Kirk as much as people think. They did for that minute, because again, that's something they needed to hold on to push out other BS. And she's one of the ones that's still sticking around. So you see, first of all, not only is she like the black one that they let go of, the grifter, but she's one of the ones that, still trying to hold on to this thing because there was a real personal relationship there. But she's crashing out on air. Like this is what you are devoting time to talk about him time traveling. I think that she needs to take this off air and sit on somebody's couch. She needs to talk to somebody, a professional. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing here.
I feel like she had a lot of people going when she talks about this grand conspiracy, Egypt, Israel. Like there's some intrigue there. even if it's bullshit.
French Legionnaires. She involved the French Legionnaires, the 13th French Legion was directly implicated in the murder of Charlie Kirk.
She made a lot of logical leaps, if you will.
Yeah.
But now we're in cuckoo territory where it's like, oh, honey, we're talking about fiction now. Like, when do we start talking about fucking sorcerers and whatnot? Like, you're bringing up Charlie Kirk being a time traveler. Like, bro,
not the Christian woman.
he was a fucking podcaster. It's not that deep. I feel like the way that she attaches so much overemphasis and meaning to every little text now that he sent, it really shows you that she is not processing his death healthily. And there's no right or wrong way to grieve, right?
I'm really
Go ahead,
okay with
Ariana.
that. I'm so okay with that. She can rot her brain for all I care. Like, actually, go make an AI video of Charlie Kirk and depict him as Jesus too, please. Like, I beg.
Oh, they exist.
Please,
There's many.
No, you know what?
There are actually.
Take it.
Yeah,
No,
there's
take
so many weird
so
variants
far.
now. There's worlds
That
within
one
worlds.
man who had this child that got shot and then made a whole entire AI eulogy or whatever.
Oh yeah, we talked about it on here.
Right.
Go ahead and do
We
that.
covered it on here.
Go do that with Charlie Kirk. Honestly, just show the world how fucking stupid and brain rotted you are. I beg. Please make more episodes and talk about your conspiracies, please. Like, you're actually a moron. And like, you're just showing the world that you're a moron. I'm so okay with this. I
agree.
Continue. You know what? When she was like, oh, Israel did it, people were actually kind of listening to her. They were like, wait, yeah, Israel could do it.
Well, they still believe
the thing
that.
is, everyone blames everything on Israel because Israel's fucking propaganda is ass. They suck at doing propaganda. So then now
and we're very evil, so it's easy to be like Israel.
They're a great scapegoat.
Fucking streamed gay porn on his computer, and he forgot he was offline, and then he was like, it was Israel that hacked into my computer.
Yeah, that's true. That is a true story that happened in reality.
Okay, so then once she milked that cow as hard as she could, she threw the cow out, and she was like, you know what? Time traveling.
I love that we've arrived.
You want to know what the next rendering is going to be? A fucking AI eulogy of Charlie Kirk, and I'm okay with it. You know what?
He's alive. That'll be the next one.
Drought.
They're already saying that he's in the spirit.
No, please put us in a global drought. Create multiple AI videos of Charlie Kirk, and just really put us in the shitter. Please. I'm at this point. I just don't like. I'm so okay. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Candace Owens losing her shit because truly.
You're an accelerationist.
I really think I don't know if it was Macron's wife coming after her for her obsession with Macron's wife having a penis, which she doesn't. She's just convinced that he has.
She's got 3 kids. She has grandchildren.
No, she led that. She led that misinformation, and I hope they take her for everything she got for that.
It's such a wild thing to lie about so confidently.
She went all over Instagram, and she was like, "Macron put a hit on my life." Like, girl, if you don't shut the fuck up, like, there are actually people dying, and every single week, Candace Owens comes up with some new shit to churn. And I'm just like, I understand you need to pay your lawyers for this lawsuit. I really do, because the merch selling just isn't going that well for you. I get it. Selling merch is hard, especially when you're a piece of shit. But it's just like, she's truly like, when we talk about delusional, unstable girlies, Candace Owens.
Where my unstable girlies at? She was the one who coined that phrase, so it's appropriate that it's all come full circle. Didn't she? She's the one who said that, right?
Bro, then she was also so hell-bent. She was like, Ariana Grande's a hoe. We need to send her to a hoe re-education camp or whatever. For a whole entire year, all of her streams were obsessing over how Ariana Grande is a hoe. But that's not...
That is 100% how them. That's Ben Shapiro. You know, that's her former partner who got her position. But she, before they fat ass, they've been doing that. So that's right up the alley of where she works with. Remember they got mad about WAP? Me and Ben covered that. Why y'all mad about WAP from Cardi B? That man said, my wife never has WAP. Does she have a problem? Yes, she's not excited to see you be with you or anything. You had so. You know, Ben Shapiro got so upset about Black Panther when it first came out and stuff like that. They literally would take rappers, music, lyrics, movies, like stuff like that, and they'll make things. Right. That thing, that thing that Candace Owens did about that man's wife and stayed on it and was doing like weird investigations about it, that was nasty work. And I hope they take her for everything she got. I really do. I hope they find a way to just really.
Genuine question. So sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Genuine question to the chat. When has Candace Owens ever done like a genuine research project where she uncovered anything? Because I feel like every single fucking month she's researching something new. She churns it out, really doesn't give us any information about anything that she's, quote, investigating. And then she just moves on to the next new obsession. At this point, I fear she has mental health illness. Like, it's giving.
Yeah,
she's giving something. I just don't know what, because I'm not a psychiatrist. But like, when
she got to sit on somebody's couch, professional help.
When has any of her research actually come to fruition or showed us anything? Genuinely, I couldn't tell you. Could not tell you.
This video hits different now.
Okay,
right?
go ahead.
Where my unstable girlies at? Where my unstable girlies at?
No, I fear they're right here. I fear it's you, babe.
It just hits so much different in 2026.
It's just, I mean, she knows this. Like, I don't, well, actually, no, I don't think that she knows, because her man is gone. So I don't think that she knows that she's crashing out. Like, I don't even think that she cares about the numbers. She's going to stream to keep Charlie Kirk's name alive, not the way that Erica Kirk is doing, because Erica Kirk is like, it's my coin, it's the legacy. Charlie Kirk, who? But here Candace Owens is from, from the house, her marital space, and she's just like, Charlie, I gotta take you, Charlie. It's so crazy. It's really insane. Okay, tears and everything. She's mourning, but I think that she really is mourning. She's crashing out in front of. But that doesn't mean that doesn't take away what she's done that's wrong, right? It does not, girl. You need to go find you some professional help and get offline. But that's business. But she's been a nasty person. A lot of people will say, because she'll have. And I'm putting this in air quotes for those who are in the listening audience, but she'll have one good day. And it may not be a good research. It may be a good phrase. It may be when people think she's a little funny, kind of like how people feel about Dr. Umar. Like, there'll be one good day, one good thing that just brings everybody together for that second. And then they'll be like, y'all just don't like the messenger, but the message is right, but y'all don't like who's saying it. No, it's not right, because tomorrow she's going to say something, or in the next 5 minutes or 60 seconds from now, she's going to say something to contradict that and to let us know where she actually stands. So those are the type of people you don't ever be like, because same thing with the Marjorie Taylor Greene. I told you immediately online after she was kicked out from the Trump brigade, and when they said they don't want her no more, and for her to leave with her sandals, her dirty sandals, she got online and people were like, guys, hear me out. I know, but she was abused by Donald Trump. Anyone know? That lady has not, before even she was on the side of Donald Trump, this lady was doing the work here in Georgia. She was doing the work of the racists. She was doing the work of those people who drive by and say, get out of my town. She's one of those people. She's been doing the work to tell you guys that the kids were not they were paid actors that got murdered in the school. She's been doing the work. So at the end of the day, ain't nobody giving I'm not giving any of these people, I don't want to give them any type of, oh my gosh, I feel so bad for you. No, that's not coming from me, because you're the reason why a lot of these people are ICE agents right now. You're the reason why a lot of these people are outside being abused by the ICE agents right now. You're the reason why a lot of people can't come and see their families. You guys are the reason why. And ain't nothing I gotta say to support that.
And they both contributed towards this. And
absolutely.
You don't have to in any way be like, I hate the defensive, like, oh, you're just criticizing how she's choosing to grieve and stuff. And it's like, Erica Kirk is the front-facing figure now of like the biggest Hitler Youth recruitment project apparatus in the United States. Like, you're just a bad person for that. It has nothing to do with anything else. If you want to throw Eurovision tier celebrations every day, that's cool. You do you. Not what I would do personally, but everyone has their own. But who gives a fuck, right? As long as she's running Turning Point USA, she's a bad person for that.
I love this comment. Erica is griefting. That's actually brilliant.
Oh, I love it.
the Candace Owen thing, it really is a warning, right? This is the logical conclusion of right-wing thinking. When you suspend logic and reason and you don't think in a fact-based way and you allow elites to kind of manipulate your worldview and media to like sour your perception of reality, eventually you land in cuckoo territory where you're talking about fucking time travelers and probably like magicians and weird shit like that. But as crazy, okay, this is a genuine question that I have for you all. As crazy as Candace Owens is, I think that there's something that might be even more insane than what we just watched. And I present to the chat and the panel a new reality television show coming to Amazon Prime featuring grifters. On the right, in the center, nobody's really talked about this, and
they love to give them platforms.
So I have to play this for you all, okay? So this is a new trailer, or this is the only trailer that dropped, but it's for a new show coming out. I don't know if it's out yet, but I'm not going to say anything else. Just watch.
We're on in 3, 2, 1.
That's Tommy.
You elected a literal socialist to run the global center of capitalism.
We're talking about giving the Nobel Peace Prize to a guy who is declaring war on his own cities.
Your job was like the first lady. That's not even a real job. You just support your gay husband.
Girl.
It's Xavier Day.
It's Xavier Week. Like, the only reason you're choosing to go meet up with your friend Amber Rose while we're filming a reality show is because you want her in the show.
Amber Rose.
America is unwell.
The ice is back in town!
Now I run your show!
Can't even run your diet. Get out of here.
I miss Charlie. This is America. Everyone has guns, you know.
Ew.
We're the counter organization to Turning Point USA.
I'm getting a migraine.
We sliding! We sliding!
I feel like my blood pressure is going up. I would not be.
I try to be the gateway drug. Thirst trap them in a little bit. He's a liar, and he lied to everyone.
I do not want to crawl back to being a corporate whore.
I don't want this to get ghetto. It's stressful out here, being black and Republican.
You accidentally said slavery was okay.
What is wrong with you?
I'm actually authentic. People change. You stay the fucking same because you just want to get a check. That's all you care about.
I'm as real as my hair.
Thank you.
It's always the ones that don't
If
fit
I
the
were Israel,
description.
I wouldn't even provide matching socks to Gaza.
Walk with me.
With all due respect, I'm not going to call a grown man Destiny. His name is Steven.
Nice big breaths, okay?
Twitter's a mental hospital.
My entire brand just fell apart. Like,
I did not come from the trenches
Oh, he
to
ain't got
sit
his
here and
face
be a
there.
fucking pedestrian.
You have to have a school loose to like do politics.
Why did they get it like he was about to go in for surgery, baby? That was the plastic surgery. That was the plastic surgeon.
Pardon Ryan. You mean a bunch of right wing influencers and Destiny? Like, where's that?
Well, I will say Laura Perrietta. I actually know her personally, and she's
Who's
not
that?
a right winger. Laura Perrietta was like the beach blonde girl.
Okay.
She said she didn't want to go back to corporate.
This girl?
No.
No.
The other beach blonde.
No,
girl.
the one.
This girl.
Her. She said
I
she's not
actually
going back to
know
corporate.
her. I actually fuck with her. So she used to be a huge CEO for, not CEO, excuse me. She used to be an exec for like Red Bull and big companies. And then she left to like start her own left-leaning platform. I fuck with her. She's the only person on this show that I fuck with, I will say.
Is she still left-leaning? Is that how she's representing in the show?
I mean, up until today that I've been following her, she's been very left-leaning.
What's her name again?
Lauren Perrietta. I will say she was a part of the chorus group though that got a lot of flack, but no, she's pretty left leaning.
Didn't she say she didn't want to be?
So maybe it's a mixed
whore?
group. She did say that. She said,
I just don't know what it is.
She's going back to the
16
script.
show idea in one, right? Like the whole time I was watching that, I was like, "What is the actual purpose of this? Is it just like following them around?"
I didn't see.
I will say
the whole
else on this show is Republican though. Like this is the only outlier of them all. I mean, other than Taylor Lorenz, but then also Taylor Lorenz has really burnt a lot of bridges with left-leaning creators because of her.
She's on this.
Yeah, she's on this. She's in there.
Taylor Lorenz is not on this. She's in a clip. She did an interview, like for a segment. She's not one of the people that they follow.
Well, she's a friend to the show.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
She was
Which
asked to
kind of is in line with her person.
She was asked to be in to discuss a part of it, like how you asked to get a segment for like in a documentary or something. She's not
Does
part of
anyone
the show
know
in terms of like
who
she's
is
not one of
this-
the people they're following.
Did he get
I don't
like
know,
a?
but he's funny as fuck. Like low
Did he get a Chad like facial surgery?
Baby.
Is that what it
Send a
is?
Mumax?
Is that a Looks Max?
No, you guys, it was the role when they were having the, the beep, 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 and we're like, baby, this given you about to go in for work. Like you about to go get some work done. And here like, what?
No, it was Destiny in the waiting room for me. Like that man, the fact
like
that Destiny is still a thing really irks my fucking soul because that man has so many like this is not funny. That man has so many like sexual just terrible
five different women of him filming them with consent.
And for some reason, this man
as
is
well.
still getting propped up. We've got Xavier here, who was oh my god, this
guy is the worst.
He went to Israel, and then he went to this setup, propped up like fake prop up that the Israeli government put on the gear, like the Party City gear, and then he's like, I won't even give kids in Gaza my socks. Now walk with me. I honestly. Like, if he has no haters, I'm dead. If he has no haters, I'm dead. Like, fuck this guy.
And he got $7,000. He's one of those creators from Israel that gets $7,000 per post, allegedly, to do propaganda for their genocide. Like, that's the kind of people we're talking about. So when he said that, oh, I'm as real as my hair.
You're just getting...
He's like, that's actually correct. That's the only true thing he's ever said.
But it also looked like, but again, this is the teaser. It also looked like, there was some kind of, like they were... fighting within when he was like, you said racism was okay. He's like, that is not okay. I can change you. They started fighting, baby. And so you guys, there's one that's part of the LGBTQIA plus community. There's one that is a part of he black. He black, baby. You can bleach blonde your hair as much as you want to. You black. So you're in this group that you guys are fighting for that's paying you to grift. That's what I said. The people will always shuck and jive for a coin. Okay. I'm pretty sure. Like when you see Candace Owens, of course, she grifted. This lady used to be a part of groups that I used to go to, like those events, because that's my group of people. Like we used to be out there in those events and politically leaning, like left, and be like, we're out here, Dreamers Act, all that. She was out there. And as soon as she got $1 to say, you know what, I'm thinking a little bit like different now, they started to pay her. She became the black face for that. And now you have this guy who is that. So it doesn't matter. He'll be dropped soon too. They're going to throw these people to the side every now and again. Like we're going to see that he's going to be. That's why I thought this was some vintage grifters over here. These are the babies. So especially I thought I saw Tommy. I haven't seen Tommy. Like I saw her. She's doing okay. But Tommy used to be at the height of this thing.
Rebecca,
just stepping.
I don't think that's Tommy. Yeah. I thought that it was at first too. But upon second glance, I think it's a different lady that looks literally identical to her.
Who are you talking about?
Yeah, she just named her. What's her name? What's her name? You said she was
Lauren.
I thought that was Tommy Loren, especially in this.
Me
clip.
too, because that's how I know her.
Yeah,
I said we know a vintage group of girls. This is the new girlies, okay? But I know a vintage group of girls that was leaning all the way to the right. But
somebody
I
asked
feel
if
like
you can't do this show with people who actually cover like politics and news because there's no show. Like there's no living life like a reality TV star. This is just people.
You don't think
influencers?
I was
These are just
too, because it's like if I had a camera crew following me around. Oh, I will say though, my dating life is a shit show, so maybe that part of it would be fun. But outside of that, like I'm literally just in the house filming videos all day. Like there's nothing exciting about what I do. Maybe like in the creator events and stuff like that. Like creator events would be fun, but outside of that, it's like I don't like if you have a camera following me around for work, they're gonna be bored. Like
if there was a camera following me around, whoever was watching would kill themselves because I'm sitting there all day, either playing Elden Ring,
moving from the couch
or eating
to the room.
yes. But I love this clip right here. They put this at the beginning so you know who they are. I don't know who the fuck this is. Emily Saves America, but her commentary, like the extent of her political commentary is, "Oh, your husband is gay." I'm sorry, but like this is a political commentator. What? This is like what you want to present as one of
is that
your side. I don't know who this is.
it?
Somebody said it looked like the Hot Tua girl.
Is it her? Did she grift? Was she? I don't know. All I know is like she does look like her. That's kind of racist.
I'm sorry, white people. You're gonna call me racist. They literally all look identical. They all like every single time. This point is reinforced.
Font. It's the same person, different font. That's that's what it's giving. And so yeah,
it's so funny.
What would be the purpose of the show? What you said it's coming on Prime, so it didn't even give the quality.
Yeah, the quality was really bad. If you're listening on headphones, like it comes from the left speaker and then like the right speaker sometimes. It was really fucked up. And I just don't understand. Like, so political commentators, right? Like this is supposed to be about like the influencers. I'm sorry. They're flying on private jets and shit and getting plastic surgery. Is this really the average experience of fucking?
And I'm fighting for my life every day, trying to get y'all together, trying to give y'all some news. And these people, they get. You guys are giving us a somber moment for plastic surgery.
Yeah, I'm sitting there doom scrolling depressed, trying not to fucking kill myself, and they're like, "Oh my god, you fucking stole my man!" Like, what the fuck is happening?
I feel like the only creator who would be on a private jet in that group would be Destiny, and even that's like questionable.
Isn't it like
no? The black guy was on a private jet.
Yeah, he was.
All those right-wing influencers would be the ones on the private jet because they're the ones who actually get money from billionaires and other rich people. They're the ones with the actual connections to people in power, which is why they're everywhere because they have unlimited resources.
It costs thousands and thousands, I would imagine, to fly on a fucking private jet. Like, you're not just gonna do that willy-nilly.
But a lot of the times, Israel also charters the planes too, and I know Xavier is Israel's favorite influencer.
Yeah,
so.
he's like, oh no, they didn't even pay for hotel. Like, right, but they paid for.
You didn't sipping champagne on the people's private jet.
Yeah.
Right.
It's crazy. Like, it's just, you could tell it's vanity. They have no core beliefs. They don't care about changing the world. They don't have a political ideology or philosophy. It's just like about being a star to them. And since they don't have talent, they can't sing, they can't dance. Like, the best they can do is just be like, hey, racism is actually good. I say this as a black person who's gay. Like, this is literally all that they do. It's just trying to be famous for the sake of being famous by any means necessary. It's crazy. It's just like the fucking most embarrassing thing in the world.
It is. But I'm not watching it. Like I said, watching that until we broke it down and cracked on them. But watching that was making my blood pressure go high, not because what they were saying, they weren't saying anything that made any sense. It was actually giving, like, it was just like, what is going on? What are people going to get from this? But again, like you were saying, Matt, it might be that it's not for people to really get a political pull from this. It's just going to be like the influencer space, the political influencers, like on that side where it's not really required for them to have brains or anything, or to really do, like, they just kind of, that's all we go. I don't know. I couldn't watch it. But I'm trying to see who gonna watch it. And it's probably gonna be a lot of their people.
Yeah, I don't
tune
know
into it.
I don't know the audience for this because it's not like political and news influencers are really that popular with like the reality TV watching audience.
Right. It's like a Real Housewives bit.
Yeah, I don't know who the audience for this is, other than I guess conservative fans of these people who just will support them no matter what. But
do they honestly, I like that because these are not very big people.
Yeah, I would say I'm pretty familiar with like a lot of the big right-wing talking heads, and
me too.
none of them were here. I mean, Destiny was the name I knew. And I mean, I saw some people say like, Matt, he's a right winger too. I mean, yes, but I mean, he's not a right. He's like a center lib or something like that.
Like a Joe Manchin.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Still leaning right. But yeah.
But he's someone who's more known for like his gaming life, like his gaming. That's how he started. That's how he built his audience, being a gamer.
I just want to show you.
A lot of them tend to grift though into politics.
This is the dude who was on a private jet. He has 137,000 subscribers, which is respectable.
I want the blonde to go.
But like, look at the views.
No,
2
he can
hours
keep
ago.
it. He can keep it. You can look
3.4K 3 days ago. Like, I'm sorry, this is not private jet money, my friends. 3.5K
But
views 10 days ago.
He getting the money. The private jet money ain't coming from YouTube. It's coming directly to him. He's getting paid to, push the propaganda, to be the black man that speaks the points of the right, so that they can say, but what's his name? What's this guy's name?
Xavier, and I wouldn't even say he's a right political commentator. He's a full-blown fascist through and through.
Bro, look at Ollie. I can't look at that.
Baby face don't move.
I can't believe Ollie London in right.
All he talks about is
not
Islam.
moving.
Like, he talks about Islam, like he's obsessed with Islam, and he talks about it in such a foul, reductive way. Like, genuinely, if I see Xavier in person, I'm going off on him. Like, everything I'm telling
And it says the truth will set you free, but first I'll piss you off, respectfully, Xavier.
Oh my God. So full of himself.
Trigger you. I didn't even notice Trigger you, Brandon.
Look, this is his most popular video. 123,000 views.
That sucks.
That's wild. I have more views on mine.
Is he big from somewhere else? Like, is he known from something
He's probably
else?
on PragerU, right?
No, he's known because he does PragerU videos, and then he started doing a bunch of Israel shilling on Instagram, and then he blew up. That was basically his claim to fame. But guys, my chat keeps talking about some fucking video of Anna Kasparian apologizing for her grift. What the fuck is my chat talking about? This is like the 5th time.
I haven't heard of
Oh, I didn't see that.
If the Vanguard didn't report it, then I don't know it.
I never heard about this either.
You have no clue what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah,
I did see that she debated that.
Just Pearly things. That was amazing.
Pearl.
Yeah,
it was so
Pearl,
funny.
Mr. Krabs' daughter from SpongeBob.
Pearl.
That was such a millennial
Pearl shut
reference.
down in real time. She just she froze up, stopped talking.
Vanguard did report that she apologized.
Anna stopped talking.
Okay, I don't think any of us watched it yet, but I will watch it. Chats.
I am behind on my
I don't think we have
Vanguard.
time now because we're at 7:33 and
We're at the point where we duck out of here.
Yeah,
Guys,
we gotta
I'm
do
so
some chats
sorry.
and things.
Before we all get out of here, I just want to say, Iran's situation is really bad. So if you guys can just share content and stuff, I would really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What I am interested in this, that's absolutely true. I was thinking about you, Ariana, and what your take was on all this when I saw the news.
Yeah.
She's been posting. I see a lot of your
watch your stuff.
I've been working 12-hour days just because I'm one of the only Iranian leftist content creators that has a platform the way that I do. There's a couple others, but they're all super small, micro platforms. So I think there's me and one other person, I think. And so everyone comes to me to get their scripts, looked over.
So humble. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I didn't mean it in a bragging way.
I know what you mean. I'm just
saying you've been working.
There's just a lot of weight. No, I didn't even mean it in that way. There's just a lot of weight because I think I was on the habituation room talking to Fran, and then it suddenly hit me. I was like, holy shit, my people are in a complete internet blackout. They can't even get their voices out. And I'm reviewing scripts of videos that are getting multi-million views. That's holds so much weight. I really do hold a lot of weight for my people. And it kind of just hit me out of nowhere. I was like, fuck, this is such a crazy position to be in. But no, I mean, it started out with, the Iranian dollar really just fell dramatically. Inflation went up and then the dollar crashed. It's worth nothing now. And so it started off as a merchant strike where all the merchants stopped, and then it turned into a nationwide just basically riot. So they cut off the internet. I haven't been able to speak to my family for over a week. I have no clue. I don't know.
Do you know if the protests are actually dying down, is being reported? Because I don't trust anything from Western media.
I really don't know. I wish I could tell you. I have no clue. There's the only definitive footage that is coming out of Iran is pro-regime protest, and Al Jazeera is reporting a lot of it. But the thing is, when I lived in Iran, they used to force us to get out of school early and go to those pro-regime protests, or else we would get in trouble. So a lot of the people, don't get me wrong, there's still a faction of Iranians who do support the regime, but for the most part, I would say a good portion of the people who have to go to those protests are usually people who are kind of there are a lot of students who are kind of pushed to go outside of school and stuff like that, and forced to go. But the discourse has just been super heartbreaking because I know my family, I really want to send money to my family, but I can't because of the economic sanctions. So if I try to send money even through Bitcoin, the government can flag me for funding terrorism. So it's one of those situations where I can't send money. I can't talk to my family. I've spoken out against the government, so I can't go back. So it's a very peculiar, like, odd place to be in. But I don't trust any news coming out. And all of the videos that have been coming out that have been definitively reported are all like pro-regime protests. And I'm like, okay, there's a government shutdown. No one has any access to internet. No one can talk to anyone. But then somehow all of these crisp videos of the government shutdown are getting reported by, or excuse me, the pro-government protests are getting reported by Al Jazeera, right? And I do think Israel and America did use Iranians as pawns because a lot of right before the internet shut down, my cousin was sending me voice notes and he was like, a lot of people are kind of looking towards Trump and like they're kind of listening to what he says because they're hoping that he helps us out. So right before the internet shut down, Trump was like, we support you, go in the street, like go crazy, basically. And that's exactly what people did. And I think he used them as pawns because I don't think he ever had the intention of helping people. I think he really just wants a lot of civil unrest in Iran without him actually doing any intervention, which I am very against intervention, just to be clear. But the same way that he uses Palestinian people as pawns, or like, for example, when he passed the ceasefire deal, right when he got elected and all the Palestinians were cheering and stuff like that, we found out it was fake, like literally a day later. It's kind of the same vibes, right? So I don't really know what's going to happen. The way and also the discourse has just been super heartbreaking because people on both sides, like I've seen pro-Israeli people pushing this pro-Israeli narrative that Israel is going to help Iran, which is absolute horseshit. I've seen people make the argument that the regime has to stay in the way that it is because if it gets toppled, then Hamas and Hezbollah have no financial support, which is very true. They depend on the IRGC. But at the end of the day, I think at the crux of it, Iranian women, Iranian people are truly suffering. Iranian regime is a dictatorship. Like, it's very oppressive. When I lived there, it was horrible. But also the economic sanctions that America and the West imposes as well is a huge problem too. So it's just so multi-layered. And I just, and when people ask me, how can we help? I don't even know what to tell them because it's like, you can't donate to anyone because the money can't get there. I don't know who you're going to talk to because no one can get a hold of anyone. And you can't physically go there either unless you have a North Korea passport or a Cuba passport, which I know no one here does. So it's one of those things where it's just like, I think just spreading awareness and just really understanding that I think also the Iranian diaspora is super divided, which is really fucking annoying because there's like this whole slew of Iranians who are super Zionists and they take Israeli flags to the protests. And it's like, you're not fucking helping our cause. Yeah. So it's just like, it's one of those things where I just think, just really amplifying the fact that the people are suffering and just amplifying like the voices are really just like the best things we can do. But I just wanted to talk about it real quick. That's part of the reason why I came on so late. I've literally been working 12-hour days. Like, it's been very exhausting, but I just think really just like, I'm going to wrap it up with this. I'm so sorry. I know we want to leave.
No, I'm glad you're talking about this though, because your perspective is really important right now.
Thank you. I do want to wrap it up with this. I think with my platform and with my Instagram, especially those of you who follow me on Instagram and TikTok, which is like really my main platform. I think one of my core tenets of why I started my platform was because I always listen to the people and I always support the people. Right. And so when I hear a large group of people saying X, Y, and Z, I choose to I don't have any allegiance to any government. I think all governments suck. And it's just like, I think the most important part when we talk about Iranians at this point is not talking about like, oh, well, if Iran's government topples and this is going to happen and that is going to happen, like we're looking way too far out in the future. I just think it's really just understanding that, Iranian people have been living under a religious dictatorship for almost 50 years now. They've been suffering heavily from that dictatorship, and U.S. sanctions are really choking the Iranian economy out, and those two together has just caused a lot of havoc. And I just think that's really all it boils down to.
And I feel like it's important to give American viewers context that like Iranians are in this predicament because of the United States and their imperialism, because they were a democracy, and then we overthrew their democratically elected leader and put in the Shah. And now the son of the Shah, you see him kind of palling around with Lindsey Graham, going on Fox News. He wants to be put back in power. I don't know that Trump is going to do that, but the problem with the people like Trump and imperialists who feign concern for the Iranian people, who we should be concerned for, is that they don't have their best intentions in mind, which is what makes the situation so difficult, right? Because you can't really trust anything that comes from the regime, but you also can't trust any Western media because they all have different interests. So that's why, like, it's so important to listen to Ariana, because you don't know what's objective and what's true. And to the extent that you can discern fact from fiction, I think that Ariana's probably going to be the best at doing that and not us.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. No, that context is super important. So yeah, we did have a democracy, and actually Iran, the Persian Empire in Iran was one of the first, we were one of the oldest civilizations, but also one of the first civilization to come out with a human rights charter. So Iran has historically been kind of the pillar of human rights for a very long time. Even when we had our dynasty, we ran it a lot more ethically than the Greek. And if you guys do research on that, you can see that. But yeah, in 1953, America did a coup. It was called the Ajax coup. We had a democratically elected prime minister named Mossadegh. He was very widely loved, very widely popular. And they threw him into prison. They threw him into house arrest. They brought in the Shah. And the Shah wanted to westernize America so desperately. He was force pushing Western ideals onto the Iranian people so hard that the Iranian people got sick of it and they revolted in 1979. And also Mossadegh, the prime minister that they threw into house arrest, he nationalized the Iranian oil. And less than a year after he nationalized our oil, he got thrown into house arrest. So a lot of this is a symptom of true American imperialism and colonialism that just completely backfired for literally a lot of different people and groups and stuff like that. But, it's kind of created this very sad, divided diaspora. And I think the reason why my diaspora is a lot like the Cubans or other diasporas is just because that just have fucked governments, is because when you come from a government that's just so wildly fucked and regressive and like a dictatorship, the people leave with a lot of trauma and they don't heal from it. The year that I lived in Iran and I came back to America, I was genuinely Islamophobic. Like, I'm going to be so honest with you. I hated Islam. I was like, fuck this shit. I don't want anyone to talk to me about this shit again, because it was forced. It was truly force fed down my throat. But the thing is, I had the privilege to come back to America and go to therapy for a decade and truly unlearn all of the religious trauma that I endured. And then I went back to Islam, and then I read the Quran, and I went back to truly being proud of being Muslim. But that's an opportunity that I've been privileged to have. A lot of Iranians don't have that opportunity. So I just think it's super, 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 super layered. And I just feel like everyone just needs to give everyone grace. And we really need to wait to see what the fuck is true and what's not. I don't trust anything coming out. I've seen figures from 2,000 to 30,000 killed. I do believe that they've killed a good number of protesters. I can tell you that definitively. How many? I don't know. What that looked like, I have no clue. I just don't know. There's a lot of hearsay going around everywhere, so I just don't know. We're going to have to wait for the internet to come back up. But yeah, that's kind of like where we're at. It's super sad, but as long as you guys know what's going on and just like kind of amplify our voices, then that's all we can really do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Anyways, sorry I kept you guys late, but...
No. People need to know.
That's
something that
you
educated us on.
Substantive issue.
Thanks. Thanks for listening to that.
All right. Well, do we want to get to super chats?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's see here. Let me pull it up. Okay. Who wants to go first? I'm assuming Rebecca.
I'm out of here. Because that change. It's 2026, but those things are still the same. Okay.
She's here for a good time, not a long time.
You know that. Okay, see? You got it. You got it. Okay. So thank you so much, 20th Century. Why did we get that one? He's the first guy. Oh, thank you so much for your super chat. I appreciate it. Invalid synapse. Okay. Good. So good to see you on. It's so good to see you. Hopefully I get that name right.
It's the capitals, Rebecca. It kind of threw me off too.
It was getting me crazy. I was just like, that's crazy. I don't know. I wanted to say NY. I want to send, but no, I got it. Thank you so much once again. And thank you so much for being a part of the membership. Lizzie Bennett, thank you. Any thoughts on Anna Kasparian? Yeah, with the Pearl Davis debate. Now, I've seen it. I didn't watch it. I've seen people talking about it. I'd say that was the most one-sided debate, with Charlie Clerk losing a gun violence debate to an actual gun. That's crazy.
Damn.
Thank you so much. Nintendo Gaming Channel 10-7. Thank you for becoming a member or being a member for 2 months. I love you. I thank you. I appreciate you. Amber Heard and Ezra Miller is bad apple of LGBT plus. Amber, yes. Prairie Fire Neb. Thank you. I always say that, but I know that Kowalski, right? That's it. Because I want to. It's Kowalski because I always want to say Wachowski.
Mike Wazowski.
I can't mess that up. My good fine farmer man. When the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850 was passed, the Northern citizens fought the slave catchers in the streets. Yeah, allies. Okay, even though the slavers had the law on their side, it's our heritage to defend liberty. It should be. People should be just like you. Okay, people should be like that. People should remember and know. But a lot of people feel like since it's not at my door, it ain't my business, So, until it does reach their door, and we've been talking about that now beyond reach doorstep. It is in your community. You can't even go eat. You can't do nothing. Your kids can't go to school. It's going to fester. And I hate to say that, but it's going to fester. It's going to become a cancer all across the United States. And that's the scariest part. It's just how do we prepare for it? But you're so right. People should definitely be fighting, right? What does that look like for everyone? The Bay photo, Richie Torres proposed making ICE wear QR code badges. Like, what are we going to do? Trade ICE NFTs? Yes, Booker be in the stupid idea contest. See, what's that gonna do? Because we already getting them on camera. They're giving us their footage to say, to validate their wrongdoing. They're giving us their footage. It's not going to do, what are they coming up with? We need to abolish these people. We need our representatives sleeping outside for us. We need them camping outside, raising hell. That's what we need. We don't need folks telling us, let's train them to be killers and murderers, like little sharp murderers, right? Make them militant so that they can shoot people at a distance. No, we don't need that. We don't need that. So, they out here
this is a hilarious proposal.
It's dumb. It's really dumb. Jacqueline, thank you so much for your super chat. General strike. Yeah, I wonder. People, I feel like these days are so afraid to do any type of strike that's going to be like a national general strike outside, because this ain't the pandemic. When we was home, people was furloughed. It was easy to really join in on those things, right? But now people are like, even for me, I'm not going to lie to you guys. It would be 100%. I recently was offered a job position, and it is corporate, right? And they want to start me in February. They seen what I do because it's just Google. And they were like, Google says that you are a journalist. And actually, you have been on a few different platforms for some years now. Are you a journalist? I'm like, yes, I am. And he was like, okay. Then he called me from his personal phone. And he was like, yeah, I'm not saying what you're doing is right. I'm not saying what you're doing is wrong. It looks like you're going to be doing this still if we give you the job. But I didn't tell A that you did this. They're find out. I just wanted to give you that the people that you're going to be working with are going to be a lot of people who believe in the opposite of what you're fighting for. And I'm like, see, now, what does that mean for me? I need to pay my bills right now. But I also don't want to work alongside these people. Like, I don't want to do that. But he was telling me, like, he just automatically gave me the call. He's like, not really sure, but we are really peculiar about who we bring on board. We just like you, but yeah, we see what you're doing. Now, I did end up getting the position, but that is just like what you know, because of what I do, because of what I've done, stood for, spoken for, that is like where it is. Like, that's what's going to be like. They're like, girl, these are people that support what Donald Trump got going on that you going to be working with. So, yeah. Anywho, but yeah, so people are afraid to do those general strikes and things like that right now, walk away from their jobs. In Minneapolis right now, what's going on, it makes sense. It's happening. People can't get to work or people are afraid to go outside. So that makes a lot of sense. But right now around the world, again, people are still in the mind of it's not at my door. I mean, it's what's terrible what's going out there right now, but it's not here. So yeah, I'm not quitting my job or I'm not leaving to do any strike or be a part of a strike. Now, it would be great if the United States pretty much, you know, we came out and we were able to be like, you know, to do this and not have to sacrifice our well-beings and stuff like that. But thank you so much for your super chat. Jada Fake 91. Thank you for joining and becoming a member. Tigwick Plays Games. Thank you so much. Great to see you as always. Great to see you guys in the chat. This is my first 2026 show back. So I appreciate it. Oh, let me not forget, somebody did give directly to me through Cash App. Love Michael, always doing that. And sent he said, your effing voice is important. Good to see you. And I love that energy. Love the energy that you guys are giving me today. So and I love seeing all of you guys, even David who slipped in but had to go watch, you know, his games. You know, I love all of you guys today as well. And I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your show till 2:00 in the morning. I won't be here, but I'll see you guys next Thursday. Love you guys.
It was so nice seeing you again. I missed your face. I missed all of you over the break.
Thank you. I did. I missed your face too, guys. I really did. Even Matt was excited to see us. He was in chat saying he can't wait to see us. He did. He was showing us a little bit of love. I love that. But Ariana, I really love what you got going on. I see it online, and I saw you even speaking in your language, which I love the most, because you really are connecting with the people who are not able to, like you said, be the voices, and you're doing that for them. So I love that. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all.
Appreciate you. Bye.
Bye.
All right, who wants to go next?
I can go next. I don't think I have a lot, to be honest.
Okay, I think your first one is it Nintendo? I think this is the first.
Yes, it is Nintendo. Okay. Okay, Orange Man forced YouTube to ban you. Got what the fuck? What is he talking about?
Not yet, but
okay. Orange Man can try. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Old Man in Philly. When are you guys bringing back the live calls? When are we bringing back the live calls, chat?
I would love to do that again. It's just each episode has been like stacked since we've been back, but at some point, maybe when there's a slower episode or when we really need to pick me up.
Can we do it, please? Maybe we could do like brain rot, like the last 15 minutes, and just bring in people 5 minutes each, and bring in 3 people or something.
We can try to do that. My problem with that is I know how we all are, and 5 minutes will be 30 minutes.
So bad. It's gonna be a yap.
We'll go on a while, yeah.
Because it's hard to just like give somebody like a couple minutes and be like, okay, bye. Like I want to really give them the chance to speak. So it is difficult to do that. But if we were to do something like that, I think maybe we just do like a crazy. No, this wouldn't work. I was gonna say just like bring in like 10 people. And then kick them out after like 20 minutes. But that would just be
crazy.
Chaos.
You're trying to do Zoom class? No,
it's a terrible idea. No, it's terrible. We'll just have to
no.
do. I think doing maybe shorter episodes and then leaving like an hour before super chats. Like if you know the news cycle permits. Right now it's a little bit chaotic because I feel like we all want to talk about what's happening. But I would love to bring that back. I feel like we definitely should do that. That'd be so much fun. I know Old Man in Philly was he was one of them that came. His face looks familiar, right? That is I remember him.
Okay, we'll deliberate and we'll figure out a way where it works best for both.
We'll definitely bring it back though. That was too much fun to not do again.
It was so much fun. Like
I really enjoyed that.
So eclectic. Like one of them was an attractor. You know, Old Man Philly had the crazy mustache.
Well,
was so. I know.
They're all just
a single person.
It's crazy how like all of them are so charismatic and so funny. It's like, damn, like our viewers are like, we are attracting the best audience imaginable. Like that's something that we should all be proud of, because if you look, like if Candace Owens were to do this, you'd see some dude like slobbering all over himself, shitting his diaper. But we have the smartest people on the internet, and I love it.
We have the best people.
We've cultivated the best audience.
Are ugly. Like you should see our chat. Babe, our chat is not ugly. Our chat is full.
Only the
we
best
have the
people.
most attractive, smartest audience on all the internet.
We really do.
Objectively speaking.
What do we call our chat?
Oh,
the mafia. What do we?
Motherfuckers. Like it's mafia.
Poorly educated.
Motherfuckers is crazy. Motherfuckers is crazy.
I don't know. That seems a little bit corny.
It is a
We'll
little
workshop
corny,
it.
I fear.
Yeah, I'm too
we'll
old to
deliberate on
come up
that
with
too and
something
come
like
back.
that. We'll workshop it.
Motherfuckers is funny as fuck though. Nintendo, question for the host, answer: should FIFA deserve to lose billions by picking Nazi USA over pro-human countries such as Mexico?
Yes.
I thought the FIFA games were going to be in Mexico too, though.
They are.
Oh, I have
I
no
think
idea.
They mean like in terms of also picking.
Okay, I was just confused because I know there's
that's how I took
definitely
it.
games that are happening in Mexico City and across like others. But honestly, the fact that we're gonna have the Olympics in the U.S. when Trump.
That's just honestly, I'm sorry, that's so unhinged.
Especially in LA at the current state that LA is in. Okay, have fun, guys. Rachel, thank you so much for the $2. 'Twas great to hear your take on Iran on TBR Tuesday. Yes, I was on the Bituation Room with Francesca.
Love
speaking about
that.
it. By the way, I also went on Greg. I believe his last name is Stokar or something like that. He's a anti-war veteran, super cool leftist. He just announced that he's running for Congress in the same district that Valentina Gomez is running in. And he's super cool. He has a huge platform. Really love him. He's amazing. You guys should all check him out, but I did go on his show too.
I did not see. I'll have to check out these appearances, Ariana.
Wait, you don't Greg's congressional run, you mean? I can share the video right now in the chat.
What's okay, yeah. The name sounds familiar, but I'm not like placing it in my brain.
He's pretty well known. Like, I feel like within the leftist sphere of our world, he's pretty like decently well known. I just sent the video to the chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't recognize him.
The private
I'll
chat.
have to follow.
Okay, Looney Tunes. I'll take Ariana's TBR appearance over Jank and Jim Acosta's IHOP appearance. I just honestly, I'm so tired of Jank. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I can't do it. Like, the yelling was cool, but like there's just something about TYT that just does not resonate with me anymore. I don't know what it is.
It's because they have no principles, and they kind of showed that.
Just doesn't do it for me, you know. Nintendo, thank you so much for the $7. Nick Shirley, remind me of fictional misinformation propagandist Rita Skeeter from Harry Potter, and because I have no clue what's going on with this sentence.
That's a deep cut, damn, from Mass Effect.
What is
That's
this
a Nintendo
sentence?
game.
What does this sentence
Mass
mean?
Effect is a sci-fi video game.
Nintendo, why do you always leave me these niche video game comments that literally only Mike understands? I feel like this is the 5th time this has happened.
Well, for the longest time, I'm pretty sure it was Nintendo Gaming that would give Mike and I weekly updates on Johnny Somali,
which we would have no idea about. That's more of like an Ariana Land stuff.
Johnny Somali.
We kind of like brought him up right
if you talk about Johnny Somali one more time, I'm gonna ban you.
Bro,
I don't even know what she's saying. She's cracking up.
Oh, Lance, I think that you're muted. I'm not sure.
No, I'm not muted.
I'm still muted.
Oh, there we go.
I was agreeing with you though. I was like, that's how I learned most of my updates about Johnny Somali was through those super chats from Nintendo Gaming Channel, where I was just like, oh yeah, that's what happened. Yep. Thank you for updating us on Johnny Somali.
Basically, basically, he kept giving, or they kept giving so many Johnny Somali updates that I think Mike one time was like, if you talk about Johnny Somali one more time, I'm gonna ban you from the chat.
Because it was completely off topic. I don't think we ever organically brought him up on the show.
And I didn't know who that was, and just hearing the name over and over again was like triggering me for some reason. It was like, oh my god, I don't care about him.
No, like Mike went off about Johnny Somali, and I was like, okay. Oh my god, I love how Johnny Somali is like the trigger word of Leftist Mafia. Like that's so funny. Kowalski, hi. Thank you so much for the $10. The Oxford cows were domesticated in Iran. Very true. Ariana, you were meant to be a shepherd. I wish. I'll bring the cattle to NYC. We will sell the beef to the city and run grocery stores. The parking's crazy anyways. Honestly, I would be so down. Let's do it. I'm honestly, the world needs more, cow meat that's not poisoned with whatever the fuck they put in there. Thank you for the $10. I appreciate it. Frizzle, $4.99. Can you guys please live react to Clan of Casparian? Apologizing. Do you guys want to watch it, or do we want to leave it for next week?
Let's save it for next week because
I gotta go, unfortunately, but I'll do it next week if you want to watch it.
And I don't want to watch Anna Kasparian right now. Just being honest.
I feel you, Rachel. It sucks that Maz Jobrani sold out. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Maz is really popular. I love him though. He's super cool, really cool Iranian comedian. Twigs, thank you so much for the $20. Thanks for the Iran coverage, Ariana. The nuanced leftist perspective is deeply needed. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people just come out of the woodworks acting like they're, experts on shit, and I'm just like, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh my god, Dirty Pirate, thank you so much for the $100. Oh my god. Wow, YouTube won't let me send my message with this super chat. Oh my god. Well, you still sent me $100. Thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. I'm gonna go and buy some of my favorite food with that just so I can treat myself. So thank you.
Oh, Ariana, I forgot to ask you. Was that a Bear Bells cookies and cream protein bar that I spotted earlier when you were eating that?
Not cookies and cream. It was caramel cashew, which is the best flavor.
Oh, okay. So just real quick, because I'm a fiend, you have to try their it's the cookies and cream with caramel. It's delicious.
Okay, I'm gonna try it.
It's delicious.
Okay, I'm gonna try it. I've been working out a lot, so protein bars it is, but
those are the best.
I will definitely try it out. Thank you.
Not
These are the only
sponsored.
ones I can stomach. Yeah, not sponsored, guys. Fuck these corporations.
Yeah, it's because the sugar alcohol that they use doesn't blow up your gut. I don't know what kind they're using, but it doesn't destroy my stomach, and I really appreciate that.
I agree, guys. If you guys need a protein bar, these barbells are really good, but they do cost an arm and a leg. So
My God, right?
just be careful.
Yeah.
I don't know when protein bars started becoming $4. I'm like, dude, get the fuck out of here.
It's
Anyways,
so
sorry.
outrageous. If you can steal, never mind.
Guys, 5-finger discount, never out of style.
I'm just kidding.
We're kidding. Crystal DW. Oh, Blue Witch. Thank you so much for the $2. I appreciate it. Keep up the work. Glad you made it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, sorry I came on late, guys. Crystal, thank you so much for the $2. Left you on the Bitchuation room. Thank you so much. I was really excited to get on, and Francesca's just amazing.
She is.
Super happy she invited me. Ali, the artist, as a person with Iranian roots, I appreciate you. I appreciate you too. Thank you. Seriously, what can I do for Iranian neighbors? I just really think you guys need to share and just amplify and just talk about Iranian people. You can always follow my page, not to self-promote. There's another Instagram page called the Iranian Diaspora Collective. They're a really good show page as well. I would be careful when you do follow Iranian influencers, just because a lot of them are Republican, and they do align a lot with Zionism and just republicanism and Trump, because they believe Trump is going to save Iran. So I am honestly one of the only Iranians who's leftist, who has a bigger platform, who is vehemently against the genocide in Gaza, but also in support of a regime change in my own country that is backed by the people and not by imperialist power. So I honestly wish I could give you guys more pages that think the way that I do. I just don't know anyone else really. There's another woman called Nazanin Noor. Huh?
You're the only one holding it down.
I think so. Like, I genuinely don't know anyone else, but I will say there is another woman named Nazanin Noor. I don't know her personally, but I do also know that she is vehemently against the genocide in Gaza, but also supports regime change in Iran the way that I do. So I just put her link in the chat. She is also another one, and I think she's as big as me, but I think a lot of her content is more Iran aligned, and she doesn't talk about other issues as much. So just be aware of that. But like, if you want a collective, cohesive coverage that also brings in the leftist and American politics, and that's more me. She's more Iran focused. And then I'd say that's it. Just amplify, follow, and just really be our voice. Like, it's really sad that this is where we're at. I don't know what's going to happen with Iran. I would be very surprised if the regime gets toppled at this point. They have a lot of money. They have a lot of oil money. So, but then again, their money is worth nothing. So I'm just not really sure how it's going to go. So we'll see. The dollar has completely collapsed. So I just don't know. Well, we'll just have to watch. Sorry, I'm like regurgitating myself, and Lance has to go. Okay, I'm done running on my tangents. Chat, thank you so much for the money that you sent. I truly appreciate it. I have felt the weight of the world on my shoulders quite literally this past week, and I just really appreciate you guys so much for having me. I know I came on super late.
No, please.
Yeah, we're glad.
It was a pleasant surprise when you joined. I didn't go, I can't look at her coming on late. I was like, oh, look, she's here, Ariana. Nice to see her.
Thank you.
Oh, late again.
Late again, or she just didn't show up. Yeah,
I'm just happy we're not gonna receive a 12 noon message tomorrow on Friday saying, "Oh, guys, I don't know if I can make it tonight."
Guys, I always send our group chat a text while I'm on the subway, and then the internet will cut out, and then Twitter is so jacked up that it'll send my message literally 24 hours later at a random time on a random day, and it'll be like, "Hey, sorry guys, can't come on the show today." It's like literally old news at that point.
Well, last week it was after
I had to ask her if
I'll
she
be
was
on
okay.
at this time when the show is already done. You were on.
I had to ask Ariana in a DM. I was like, in the group chat, I was like, "Are you okay? Like, you're sending those messages the day after we have the show."
Guys, I'm the type B friend from hell. Like, those people who are scrambling to pack their bags 3 hours before the flight, and they have all their clothes in the dryer, and that's me. I'm sorry, that's me. I'm very type B. But it's okay. Almost creatives are. So that's what I like to tell myself. Okay, anyways, I'm so sorry. Lance wants to go. I'm sure you guys want to go too. Anyways, thank you so much for letting me speak about Iran. I was trying to find a place to speak about it, but I didn't want to cut off the conversation. So glad I was able to get my words out there. But I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for having me again.
Yeah.
As always.
Oh, have a great night.
Thank you for having us.
Have a good night, guys.
I don't know about that. Thank you for having us. That's a little bit too much.
Okay, I'm trying to be nice, sir. All right, I'm gonna go.
No, I was saying what Mike was saying was too much, not what you said.
Oh, okay. I thought you were hitting on me again. It's okay.
No. Mike said
hitting
thank
on
you
me
for having
this
us
time.
to you, and I was like, that's a little bit,
okay.
I was like, that's a little bit much.
No, I feel you.
makes
All right,
sense.
I'm gonna head out.
All right, take care.
Bye.
I'm just going to start reading these out. Manny Spinoza, thank you very much for the 13th month with the message 757 days sober. Congratulations. That's an unreal accomplishment. Very good for you. Yeah, that's huge. Tokyo Hans, thank you for being a member for 23 months. Mitch McConnell must be rolling in his grave with this Mandela effect stuff. It is super weird. Southern Boy, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. That's so generous of you. Colombian Rican 31, thank you very much for the $5. Jesus, this is a right-wing furry version of Eyes Wide Shut. Oh my God, I won't be surprised if there's some suspect stuff going on there. Yeah, it was weird. Everyone saw it. You all saw it with your eyes. Nintendo Gaming Channel 1007. Thank you for the $6.99. Public schools should knock on the White House door by demand detailed of federal spending, request his personal finances, proof he hasn't defrauded Americans. Don't think these are unreasonable requests. And also thank you, Nintendo Gaming Channel, for the $2.79 and the message, be saved, Leftist Mafia, and all progressive. Thank you. I have been saved.
I think you meant be saved.
It says be saved, Leftist Mafia, and all progressive. Awesome. Hell yeah. I'll be saved. Colombian Recon 31. Trump admin is doing the same thing Israel did with influencers to pay them to push ICE propaganda, which makes sense why Asmongold is pushing pro-ICE takes. I didn't know that Asmongold might be taking funding, but that's fucked up if true.
It would make sense if true.
Yeah, true. Nintendo Gaming Channel 1007. Thank you for the other 279. Fact: all U.S. Republicans are dangerous to kids. True. I have no comment or criticism. Looney Tunes 9000. Thank you so much for the $4.99. Not only is Trump destroying the states, he's suffering from amnesia. Yes, and I also read that he might have. Some doctor is saying in the Daily Beast that he thinks he had a stroke, but I don't know if that's true. Would explain some things. Jacqueline Litch, thank you so much for the $6.99. Shock and awe theory. They will keep hitting Minnesota wherever they can until they create the conditions to bring it down, and the provisional government may be true. Timothy Nelson, 4785. Thank you for the $2. No message. Colombian Weekend 31. Thank you for the $2. Need a mental health cleanse after that awful trailer. Yeah, Mike isn't here right now to say this, but I'll say it in his absence. Why did you make us watch that? I wish I hadn't seen that, and now I do not need to know that it existed. Thank you so much to the incredibly generous Open Presents for the 25 gifted subs. That's unreal. If you're still watching, that's so nice of you. That's so kind. Thank you very much for funding the show. Scissorina Chess, thank you so much for subscribing on Twitch. Duckco, thank you for resubscribing on Twitch. Jen Can, thanks for resubscribing on Twitch. I will leave it to you, Mr. Matt Binder, but I'll leave once Mike gets back because I have to take off, but I won't leave you hanging until he does. I'll also send you my heroes.
That's very kind. Oh, Mike is back, it looks like.
Okay. No, it's just a picture of Mike. It's deceptive. I know, it looks photorealistic because he does hang out with
Oh, no, you know what happened? I went to my my YouTube studio backend to pull up my Superchats, and my live stream feed on there was still playing, but it's behind. So it looked like he was back. Now he's back. I'm looking through StreamYard.
Bye, friends. I love you both. You're awesome. I'll see you next Thursday.
Take care. See you then.
Adios.
All right. Did you want to read yours first, Matt, or do you want me to go?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm rusty. I realized, I was thinking about it. Like I spoke for nonstop for the first like 10-15 minutes, and then
you burned yourself
out.
I
think I put like a sentence every 10 minutes after that.
Coming back is really, you almost feel like you have to learn how to talk to the camera again, because you kind of lose that muscle memory. It's very weird.
I felt like for the first time, like I didn't have the words. I need to get back into it, which is very rare for me. I can't shut up usually.
I mean, it's hard to live stream. I'll just put it that way. Some people can do it for like 8 hours, like Hassan. Others, they need to pay themselves.
Hey, I used to be able to do it. I'm just rusty. I used to do my classic 4.5 hour streams that ended at like 3.
Whenever we go super late, like past 10 Pacific time, I'm like a vegetable afterwards. I feel like the lights cook my brain. Like, some people can do live streams, other people can record videos. I'm one of the people where I'm the video person. Like, to know that like Hassan streams for 8 hours every single day, that is mind-blowing to me. I would not be able to do that.
I used to think I was the streaming person, and I probably was, but now I'm at the point where I think I need to really, really, not even just because I'm like, oh, it'll grow my channel. No, because I think for my own sanity, I need to move from streaming to videos.
Yeah. I mean, in the end, you end up spending more time working on the video. At least I do. But like at the same time, I feel like it doesn't cook your brain as much. But that's just me, though. I think it just comes down to like what kind of content you want to create. But I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do a stream that long.
All right. Should I read my super chats first, or you want to go first?
No. Feel free. I'll pull them up for you, though. Let me know which is the first one.
Yep, Tokyo Hans, member for 30 months. We were sad to see you. We were sad to miss you since you were at the Cola Enthusiast Symposium, CES. I've yet to see any of your reporting on it. Only about electronics. That's pretty good. I need to do some Cola Enthusiast Symposium videos. Tokyo Hans, another super chat. Since there is no evidence that EM has ever done it, the Grok thing, Elon Musk has ever done it. The Grok thing is the only way for him to see his baby's mothers in that condition. Oh, oof.
Wow.
Tokyo Hans also says in another super chat, is that furry party where Donald J. Trump blew Bubba? Oh, boy.
Tokyo Hans is on a roll tonight. Damn.
Yeah. Strats are us with a 20 euro super chat. Thank you. We love you all. I appreciate it.
I'm trying to find this.
Old Man in Philly with a $10 super chat.
Hang on, I didn't find Strats. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Just wanted to give them credit. Okay, Old Man in Philly.
Especially with that 20 euro super chat.
Nice.
Old Man in Philly. To curb ICE collaboration and lack of accountability, should resistance groups push cities like Philly, NYC, and Minneapolis for police residency requirements? I mean, you shouldn't even need that addendum before it to curb ICE collaboration and lack of accountability. I've always thought it was ridiculous how many cops don't living in New York my whole life. It was always stunning just how many cops live outside of the 5 boroughs. And it's not like, you hear that there are people who live outside of New York City and then commute into New York City to work because they can't afford to live in the 5 boroughs. But that's usually like the cops aren't like who live outside of New York City. They aren't like renting because they can't afford. Usually they got nice homes in Long Island. Or in New Jersey. Not saying they could afford to buy in New York, but they could certainly afford to rent in New York. I think yes. Or at least there should be a number requirement. You can't have this many in the force living outside the city. There's gotta, if not mandatory living in New York City, there has to be a certain percentage that do. And there has to be a percentage that puts them in the vast majority.
I mean, in Minneapolis alone, the ICE agents outnumber cops by more than 3 to 1. It's crazy.
Well, I don't think you could assume they could outnumber them. I'm just talking about like cops should have a connection to the city that they serve. If they don't, why the fuck do they care? Why are they there? Yeah. Just for a paycheck.
Yeah.
And that's not a job. It's like if you heard a fucking teacher was just going to teach your first, second, third grader because they just need a fucking paycheck and not because they truly love, education and teaching kids. Because that's what all teachers, at least good teachers, need and have. Because it's not a job that's fun to do unless you truly love doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, was it 3,000 ICE in Minneapolis? Someone just said in the chat. I mean, New York City is good. Maybe that's why ICE has relatively, obviously they've been picking up people in New York City, but not at the level, nowhere near the full-blown invasion like they're doing in Minneapolis. Because I don't know how many ICE agents they need in New York City. New York City is up there in terms of like sheer numbers of police. But remember there were stats putting them up there with like some of the largest armies in the world when it came to just numbers of officers. Maybe ICE don't have the numbers. I mean, at the very least, there was that video not too long ago. We watched it on the Majority Report not too long ago of that ICE agent who was pulled over driving drunk with his kids in the car and he got arrested. I mean, at the very least, cops should be enforcing the law on these ICE agents because clearly these ICE agents are, I'm not even talking about in their line of duty alone. I'm talking about just like they're certainly breaking the law, like just your everyday laws that average citizens can't break. They're certainly breaking those laws because they think they're above the law. That's where cops should be enforcing the law on ICE. Especially because maybe it'll make them feel just a little bit more cautious in terms of thinking they could get away with whatever they want to get away with.
Yeah.
Troy Mosin 8975 with the super chat. Trump is talking about not having midterm elections again. If Democrats aren't confronting him on the regime change of Venezuela and ICE violence, how can we have faith in fair elections going forward? Yeah,
good question.
I mean that Venezuelan opposition leader just met with Trump as we were talking and gave him her Nobel Peace Prize.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
And the White House announced that he accepted it and is keeping it.
That's hilarious.
And she walked out with a little a gift bag, literally like one of those gift bags you receive with Donald Trump's signature on it. Like, the gift bag you see in like a store. So like in exchange for like the equivalent of, I'm sure, like I don't know, like hotel hand wash and a bar of soap, she gave him her Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh my god. Oh my god. She might become the leader of Venezuela now.
I don't even think so. I think she's not, and that's gonna be extra funny that she gave him the literal.
That will be hilarious.
Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, what I really hope is, I really do hope that the fucking Nobel Peace Prize committee or whatever feel like fucking idiots now for giving her the award to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking the stupidest shit.
What's the point of even calling it the Peace Prize at this point? Nobody takes it seriously. It's lost legitimacy. Like, you might as well just like get rid of it. Like, we don't even need this. It's just been discredited thoroughly.
Like they already announced that, like, they could do, like, she could do whatever she wants with the physical like award, but the Peace Prize does not transfer. But like, you're talking about Donald Trump. He doesn't care about authenticity. He cares about, I got the gold plate. I got the trophy. Yeah. It's like when he went up and stole the World Cup Club Cup.
Mm-hmm.
He kept one of the FIFA trophies,
and they gave him the fake one too, right? The FIFA Peace Prize.
Yeah,
made especially for him.
Yeah, like he doesn't care about authenticity. Like he doesn't care about having it actually bestowed upon him. He cares about, I have the physical award. It's the equivalent. I mean,
is there going to be a right-wing Olympian that gives them his gold medal? Like he'd accept that.
He would accept that shit, of course. Yes, he would accept that shit.
So pathetic. But genuinely, like, this is hilarious. I am glad that she cucked herself to him in that way and gave him her Nobel Peace Prize. I think that is amazing.
And like, it's extra funny because she gave it to him after it's not like she won it and right away gave it to him, which still would have been lame, but like, at least her giving it to him would have seemed like an authentic move from her. Mm-hmm. This is her doing it after the report came out that he didn't name her the president of Venezuela because she didn't give him the Peace Prize. And then she had to frantically come out and do all those media hits saying, I plan on doing it. I just haven't had a chance yet. You remember that shit?
It's on. It feels like we're living in a fucking parody at this point. How is any of this actually happening? My God.
It's amazing. All right, let's go to the next super chat. Free Expression Warrior says Stop Funders Act was passed in the Senate today. Which one is that? I'm a little bit rusty lately.
Is that the ICE appropriations bill? No.
It was that's Ted Cruz's bill targeting NGOs and people who they claim are funding violence.
Oh, under RICO. Oh, okay. I wasn't following this at all.
Yeah. Tokyo Hans, are you a nosy neighbor, agoraphobic, immobile due to a medical condition? You too can help. Set up a camera at your window and live stream when ICE comes close. With a bullhorn, you can help from the comfort of your home. TTT types the $20 super chat. In my opinion, the surface level logic and incoherence of reactionary messaging doesn't matter to them or their followers because it's far more important to them to symbolically signal respect towards the correct people and ideas. Yeah. Looney Tunes 9000. Well, welcome back. While you were away, I hit 1,000 subscribers last week. Congratulations, Looney
Wow.
Tunes. TTT types another super chat. From a global and historical perspective, Destiny is center right. Yes. I just meant he's not in that same group of far right wing reactionaries like we saw mostly in that reality TV show. Freedom Expression Warrior. That show needs the quartering for actual crap. Kowalski with a super chat, $10 super chat. Binder went to Vegas. I bet he's still doing dry January and February and March and all of 2026. He's so punk. Yeah, I didn't drink in Vegas. I didn't gamble either. I stay away from that.
I wouldn't gamble. I'm too much of a tightwad. If I lose $1, I'm losing my shit.
Yeah. Excuse me. You know I'm rusty when it's only 11:30 and I'm yawning.
I'm yawning too.
TTT types with a $20 super chat. Lost my most lucrative cleaning job in December. So if you can bear shameless promotion, I make music under the name TT types. I'm a committed leftist and humanist artist and could really use support right now. Enjoy my holiday cash, Matt. Oh, thank you, TTT types.
Cool.
And everyone check him out with it's 2 T's under his music name. So it's T types. So T.
Remember to check that out.
Let me spell it so be sure, because you paid $20. I got to make sure I get that promotion right. That's TTYPES. T types.
Are you on Apple Music? That's the service that I have. Let me see.
Yeah, everyone. If
Apple
T types is on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever, listen to some T types. I believe if we all listen 1,000 times a day, TT types will eventually have millions of streams on those platforms, and they'll send him a nice check for, I think, something like 23 cents.
I see a song called Colorado, and it says it's by T-Types, so I think this is T-Types. Okay, very cool. I'll check it out. Nice.
Lunar Spunk with a member for 17 months super chat. President Paul Bet Davidson 2028. I'm never living that one down, am I? But you know what? I love it. I don't remember what his fucking real name is anymore.
Peter?
Yeah, I guess,
Patrick
right?
Bet David.
Patrick Bet David. And I called him Paul Bet Davidson.
Peter, Paul, Patrick,
who fucking
Percy.
cares? All I know is he runs a fucking channel called Valuetainment, which is the most morning infomercial scam name you'd ever come across.
Somebody said Pete Bet Davidson. Bay Photo says Pete Bet Davidson.
The Bay Photo with a member for 30 months super chat. Technically, we had a full house tonight. David and Ariana just swapped. Are we sure they aren't the same person? Hope your dad is doing better, by the way. Yeah. Thank you, Bay Photo. I really appreciate it. So yeah, right before we took off for the holidays, I had mentioned to keep my dad in your thoughts. He found out that he was very sick. I don't know how much information he wants me to share or something, but he's doing treatment now, and he's doing much better.
Oh, good.
Than he was a few weeks ago.
Good.
He spent about a month in the hospital.
Wow.
And now he is at a rehab facility trying to regain his strength. He is still taking treatment, but he had a meeting with his doctor today, and they are very happy with how the treatment is going. He's posting on social media again, which he wasn't doing when I had told you guys to keep him in your thoughts. So he's definitely feeling better, and hopefully things continue to go that route. So far, only positive news, and cross your fingers and continue to keep him in your thoughts that it continues that way.
I'm happy to hear that.
Thank you. And that's it for me for Super Chats.
Oh, okay. There was actually, I think that Rebecca did read this one. I just did not remove it. And then there's also, I just forgot to unstar those. All right, there might be some for David sprinkled in here, but either way, I'm just going to go ahead and read them. So, Mr. Clinton, thank you for becoming a YouTube member, and also thank you to Michelle Hell for becoming a YouTube member. Canadian Goose, thank you for the 20, says, hey, gang, really recommend having Jen Budd on the show. She's a former Border Patrol agent turned immigrant rights advocate and has a lot of insights on Border Patrol and ICE. Francesca Fiorentini interviewed her today. I will check her out. This is the first that I'm hearing of her, but I will... I'll watch that interview with Francesca first and foremost because that sounds interesting. Chris says, I came in on 1,200 strokes a minute. What the fuck did I just join here? Read that one earlier, but that was a funny one. Bayphoto says, apparently there's 1.5 million pledged on Kickstarter for the Handy 2. No kidding. Wow.
It was, listen, it was a very well thought out product, and it seemed to work in terms of the live demo they had with a going full throttle on I guess a dildo.
Follow up from Chris. I joined the chat.
Someone said, I'm sorry to interrupt. Someone said there's a Paul Bet Davidson shirt now. Is that true? Is it really a shirt?
I don't know.
If there's a Paul Bet Davidson shirt, I need to know because I think I've owed some royalties.
Joined the chat, not came. My God, foot in mouth. I do it all the time. Chris has exited the chat. It's okay. It's okay, brother. No problem. Octo Wolf says, so I got involved with my city and tried to advocate for public transit in my city, and I got called Antifa and needed to leave my home state of Texas. Are you joking? My goodness. I feel like public transit isn't that controversial, but it is Texas after all. I'm sorry to hear that. That's not normally how that goes in city council. Like, I mean, you might get some chuds that'll push back, but having to leave because of a recommendation is a bit extreme. So I'm sorry to hear that, Octo. Ben Riley says, I'm old enough to remember Mike before the beard. Oh, you're old then. You're old then, my friend, but that's really cool. I don't even remember what I looked like before the beard. Just a child.
Yeah, I don't know what I look like without a beard anymore either. It's been decades.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine it. I feel like I would just not look like the same human.
And I can't just shave it either because if I've asked my kids, and they are staunchly anti me shaving it. They get, in fact, my 6-year-old daughter, it gets very upset even when I bring
Serious?
It up. Yes. Yes.
Oh, that's funny. You just wouldn't be the same dad anymore. It'd be too jarring.
I mean, it would devastate her.
That's funny. My dog has never seen me without the beard. I was always curious what would happen if I shaved my beard. She'd probably freak out. Cartoon says, thoughts on Meta shutting down 3VR studios. This is the first that I'm hearing about that, but it doesn't surprise me because they are a shitty company, and it's kind of where a lot of the gaming industry in general is going. So I'm honestly not surprised, but it's still definitely disappointing to hear that for sure. Octo says, I have a whole story of how I was attacked in my city for advocating for public transits, including getting banned from my city's Facebook group. No kidding, Octo. I'd be interested to hear that. Have you made like a social media post or a YouTube video about that? Because that does sound like you're living among a lot of really crazy people who are unusually passionate about not having public transit. That's kind of crazy. So yeah, I mean, if you've posted that somewhere, I'd love to read that because I'm certainly intrigued now. Kinsey Page, thanks for being a member for 31 months. Litu says, it is sad to see footage of protests and clashes with the police and not know if it is Iran or US. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that I find so ironic as Trump is talking about protesters, and them getting shot. I mean, ICE just shot a woman in the face and they're trying to cover for that person. So it's just very hypocritical to see him say that. It's always hypocritical to see the US feign concern about human rights abroad because we are the perpetrators of like some of the worst atrocities globally speaking. So I just I find it very gross to see that and disingenuous. Latus also says, and thank you for the 20, that's very generous of you. How are we paying for Greenland? The plan to take Greenland is in place. Also, if it's because of national security, do you honestly think Trump will stand up to China and Russia with or without Greenland? I mean, listen, the argument about national security is complete bullshit. I mean, that's why we have an alliance with them. Greenland is in NATO. So, I mean, you have a national security alliance. Russia and China isn't going to attack a NATO country. That's fucking insane. It's about the minerals. There's a map that really just like lays out all the minerals, mostly along like the border of Greenland. And that's exactly what they want. And I think that also on top of that, Trump just loves the idea of conquest. He wants to be a history maker. And I think that's what's appealing to him. But, I mean, paying for Greenland, taking it by force. I believe in self-determination. And if Greenland does not want to join the United States, then they should not be forced to, regardless of the price. Just everything that's happening is just naked imperialism. And it is genuinely disgusting to see. But, I mean, they're not really hiding it anymore when Trump says they invaded Venezuela for the oil. In some ways, it's more gross because they at least used to lie to us. But the refreshing honesty is actually appreciated because it's much easier to turn the public against it if it's so obviously corrupt and despicable. Like having meetings with oil executives after you kidnap the leader of another country. I mean, there's not really any plausible deniability. This is about the people of Venezuela. So, yeah, it's a lot to take in, honestly. Rachel says, hi, Rebecca. Okay, we must have missed this one. Actually, I don't think this was sent to Rebecca. So, do you know of Ashley the Baroness? I'll have to ask Rebecca about that because she did not see this one. That might have been sent to David, too, which is why we missed it when Rebecca was reading hers. Okay, Spot Dog says, I'm in a southern state, yet I'm still scared. I have 2 elderly and disabled family members and 2 dogs and an immigrant aunt. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. It's a really scary time. They just kind of pick and choose which city that they want to target. For a while last year, it was Portland, my city. That was really terrifying. ICE hasn't left Portland, but we're just like less on the radar because Minneapolis has taken precedence thanks to that Nick Shirley documentary. And I'm sure that, once he's bored with Minneapolis, he's going to move to a different state. Either way, like the escalations just keep continuing and it is alarming. So I don't blame you for feeling scared because I feel the same exact way. V-Man says, this reminds me of when my abuela was a girl in Puerto Rico. They appointed a military government, Blainton Winship, continued in next chat, who put a psycho at head of police, Francis E. Riggs. He said any member of the Nationalist Party, who, mind you, were peacefully organizing for independence, had a target on their back. He had his men kill 4 members of the party for the crime of sitting in a parked car by the University of Puerto Rico. The party afterwards gave up on peaceful organizing and went to militant action, taking out Riggs. Wow. Yeah, thank you for the history. Always really interesting, V-Man, to see your posts because you're very knowledgeable, obviously, about Puerto Rico, and it's nice to get this history that a lot of Americans, myself included, are not familiar with. Yeah, so thank you so much for sharing that. Justin says, it's so frustrating that mayors won't direct police to defend citizens from ICE. Mayor Frey said they're outnumbered. That's rich, since when he directs them to disperse protesters, they're outnumbered. WTF. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of just like the reality check for a lot of Americans. I know like the chat who's watching already knows this, but the police are not there to defend U.S. citizens. They are there to protect public property and capital. So they will not mobilize unless it is for that reason. If protesters start like breaking buildings or, disrupting Capitol, that's when he'll mobilize the police. They are not there for us. They are there to reinforce the system. So ICE and police, for all intents and purposes, they're on the same page. Statistically speaking, police officers are conservative and probably enjoy seeing what ICE is doing and wish that they had as much autonomy to abuse people as much as ICE is. And hell, if you're a police officer, why wouldn't you just join ICE? You get a $50,000 bonus. You're probably making more money. So I think that's kind of why this is not happening, because if you tell police to arrest ICE agents, I mean, it's just you're asking cops to go after cops, and it's just lesser degree, or I guess like a degree of cop. Like one is a community cop, one is a national cop, but they're all cops, so they're on the same side at the end of the day. Omega Shenron says, Candace Owens to her foes, you see, you are not dealing with the average unstable girly anymore. You are dealing with a super unstable girly. No shit, right? It's crazy to see her just like descend into madness. T-Boy says it's because Candace Owens is weird. Very true. And T-Boy adds, I'm going to need a long shower after watching this train wreck of a, quote, trailer. Yes, in reference to the Grifter reality show. Joel says, that trailer felt like my consciousness was being violated. I apologize for that. N Patrol says, William Sasha Riley interview matters more. It needs to be verified, but it won't be if we don't talk about it. I'm not sure entirely what this is in reference to. Maybe the chat has some additional context, but if you say it's important, then this is people's note to check that out. I'm not really sure, though. Omega Shenron says, a reporter said that Mr. Narco-Terrorism Marco Rubio used to work with that drug lord who was in Tiger King with the exotic animals. Can't make this shit up. Are you joking? I did not see that, but it wouldn't surprise me. ABS says, hey, Mike, did you hear that ICE shot 2 more people during the protest in Minnesota last night? Also, did you see the RE9 showcase today? Yeah, I did see that they did shoot 2 more people, which is not surprising. I think this is going to keep happening. In terms of your question about Resident Evil 9, I did not see that showcase. I don't think I'm going to watch it because I'm already sold on the game. So I'm just going to pick it up when it's on sale, most likely. But yeah, I like Resident Evil, so I don't need to see any more. The Blue Witch says General Strike needs rent funds and local organizing. Yeah. Oh, okay. So somebody in the chat is saying that Sasha Riley is a Trump Epstein victim. Okay, thank you for that. I was not familiar with this interview. Appreciate that context. Yeah, so I'm not sure if people know about this, but on the 29th of January, I believe, you have local leaders, including labor leaders, organizing a strike in Minneapolis, a work stoppage, as well as, I believe, a shopping boycott that day. So you'll have to look online. I'm trying to remember the organization that is putting this together, but there is a mini one taking place in Minneapolis, and I'm going to watch that closely because if they are successful, they could create a blueprint for the rest of the country, although it's not getting a lot of traction. I saw that Common Dreams wrote an article about that, not getting too much play on social media, but it doesn't have to because this is a locally organized effort, so online won't necessarily translate into real life, so just pay attention to that, because if you're in Minneapolis, you definitely want to take part in that, because the demand is to get ICE out of the city. So that's what they're doing. They're going to shut down the city in hopes that will encourage ICE to leave. So massive luck to them. Autistic Goblin says we're the leftist foot soldiers for the leftist mafia. That's one possibility. I did see some other names for the viewers in the chat. It's all very mafia related. So yeah, maybe we got to take a poll at some point to see what to call you all, because you definitely have earned some sort of title. Corey Springer, thank you for being a member for 31 months. Kowalski says the Olympics are all the way in 2028. Trump will not be president by then. That being said, who do you think Vance will choose to be his VP? Or I guess Benjamin Netanyahu might pick the guy. Oh, okay. You might. I'm torn, Kowalski, because on one hand, I think that what you're saying makes sense. He very likely might not be president, but at the same time, part of me thinks this fucker is going to live for like 20 more years just to torture us all. I don't know, though, but you are right that in the event JD Vance becomes the VP, Benjamin Netanyahu is probably going to pick his successor, or possibly even more likely Peter Thiel will pick his successor. But that's a hard question. It's probably going to be some straight up demon. Like he's just going to conjure up the spirit of Satan himself and make him VP. That's the only possible way that he'd be able to pick, because like nobody else would be evil enough. I'm not really sure though, but man, I don't even know. I don't think I could think that far ahead, but 2028, we'll see. I hope you're right. We'll see though. Ben Riley says Forrest Gump, slow yes, Nick Shirley. Maybe, but he charmed the pants off Nixon and he won a ping pong competition. That ain't Nick Shirley. He was a goddamn war hero. No, any Nick Shirley war heroes. Jones City says, I'm black-pilled at this point because Dems midterms save us. You know what, Jones? I don't fault you at all for being black-pilled. I really feel black-pilled too. I was planning on doing a video about Democrats just being completely useless when it comes to resisting ICE, but like halfway through I lost interest because oh, you meant to say Dems midterms won't save us, Mike? Okay, yeah, no, I feel you. I feel you with the sentiment. Because why would, like, what are they going to do if they take back? I mean, yes, I want them to take back the House. That'd be great, right? But what are they going to do? Call, like, people to testify? It's still going to come down to Donald Trump, and a lot of the shit that he's doing is not even going through Congress. So I don't want to throw a wet blanket on people's hope that, like, things might improve in 2027, assuming Democrats take back the House. But Trump is doing all this shit unilaterally. So I don't blame you for feeling black pill, Jones, because I feel the same way. It's hard to not just lose all hope. And that includes hope in electoralism. Like, I see a lot of people talking about 2028. I have absolutely no optimism whatsoever about 2028, about the midterms. I just feel like right now my focus is on just trying to survive this moment. And I say that as somebody who, like, for the most part is observing it. Like, I'm not being targeted by ICE. You know, I'm not an immigrant. I have a lot of privilege in this situation, but just like seeing the country not collapse is like what I'm focused on right now. Like just making sure things don't get worse is what I'm really fixated on. But I mean, like, if people aren't black pilled, then more power to them. But I feel you. I'll just put it that way. Hawk says, happy 2026. Let's survive longer than some mofos. Yes, that is the plan. Ant says, Ant Smasher Jack says, Daily Beast reported that MAGA has raised over $1 million for the ICE agent who shot and killed mom of 3, Renee Good. These people are so lost. Jesus Christ. That is sickening. I believe that that's on GoFundMe as well. The fact that they're keeping this up is honestly so gross. Like, I would like to say don't support GoFundMe, but what other alternative is there? I want good causes to be funded. It's just, it really feels like there is not a single corporate entity in this country that has not caved to fascism, which is why, to the extent that you can, only shop local, don't buy fast food, don't shop at large grocery chains. I know that some people don't have that option, because if you're in like a rural area, all you have basically at this point is a Walmart. But to the extent that you can, do not support corporations, because they are fucking evil. They're in lockstep with this administration. And then, you know, if we ever get a different administration, if a Democrat comes to power, they're going to switch again and pretend to be super, super progressive and that all this shit never happened. I'm just so sick of them. Thank you to Old Man Philly, who became a member. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Thank you, Philly. Angela says Canada needs all Alaska for security reasons. I mean, look, if we need Greenland, then it's not that unusual for you to say that as well. And this is the thing that Trump and Americans don't understand. If you say that we can just take whatever country we want, then there's nothing stopping others from doing the same thing. Might makes right. Oops. Joseph says, taking assets should be another litmus test for candidates. We can and should take back ill-gotten gains on top of getting rid of ICE. Yes, exactly. I totally agree with you. Old Man in Philly says, Trump's Greenland gambit is his way to leave NATO. I mean, that would be one way to do it. I think it wouldn't just be the U.S. leaving NATO. I think that seeing a NATO country attack another NATO country would destroy NATO. So you may be right about that. Although I'm not even sure he's playing 4D chess like that. I think he straight up just loves the idea of like international conquest.
Yeah.
T-Type says, saw somewhere that the 50K requires 5 years in ICE. Oh, okay. I'm not really sure. Because when I was listening to the journalist who was hired by ICE in her Democracy Now! Interview, she made it seem like she would qualify relatively soon, but maybe I'm misreading the situation. But I mean, still, $50,000, that's a lot of fucking money in this economy. So there's going to be a lot of people that sign up, and I don't care what their excuse is. Poverty is not an excuse. That is unfucking forgivable. If you know somebody that joins ICE, disown them, shame them, just never talk to them again. Like, that has to be the biggest fucking taboo. These people need to be pariahs for the rest of their life. There is no coming back. Once you join ICE, there's no rehabilitation. You should be excommunicated from fucking humanity for the rest of time. The only way to make amends is to Minecraft yourself if you joined ICE. Like, that's literally the only way. Octo says it's on my Facebook. Okay. Regarding the story about your city council, I'll try to remember to look if it's assuming that it's the same as your screen name. Cut the Camel says, did you see Kyle go dark woke on Michael Knowles? I saw a little bit of it. I didn't get to see the second portion of it, but I did see him call Michael Knowles a cuck and said that he was meat riding Donald Trump. And it was very, very satisfying to see Kyle do that. Kyle, he has a way with words that many don't. And I think that he very eloquently told Michael Knowles he is the biggest Trump dick sucker in the country. It was great. Last but not least, Canadian Goose says, hi again, Mike and Matt. Are you guys aware of the Black Panther party patrols in Philly? They're seeming to be pretty effective so far when it comes to cops, at least. I saw one video that was shared by Libs of TikTok of a Black Panther, and this is the most based video I've ever seen in my entire life. It's going viral. Not in the way that Libs of TikTok intended it to. This guy is an absolute king. He basically says, look, if you have a bigger gun than them, that's how you protect yourself. And look, the Black Panther Party, they've been doing this. It's the same party since during the Jim Crow days. The Black Panther Party, they absolutely are effective. Nobody can deny that. And to see them have a presence here to try to protect their community and to protect immigrants, it's so heartwarming. One thing that I will say, like one positive thing, is a lot of people are seeking out Black literature, particularly, from the Civil Rights era, Malcolm X, literature from the Black Panthers. And I think that it's really, really crucial that we learn from the people of the past. Like, civil rights leaders, they really created a blueprint, and it's sad that their entire history just gets sanitized and whitewashed. Oh, they were just peaceful. That's like one portion, right? So it's really important to learn from history now more than ever, and I really appreciate seeing the Black Panthers. That video of that guy is a fucking joy to watch. But that's basically the show. Did you have anything else you wanted to plug, Matt, or get off your chest, or did you want to Twitch?
Hold on, did you read the other? I got another super chat from T-Types, but I think you might have read it.
Okay, yeah, I read
requires 5 years. Okay, over on Twitch at Twitch TV/Matt Binder, Twitch.tv/Matt Binder. Joey Bag of Donuts resubscribed with Prime, subscriber for 15 months. Thank you, Joey. Got rated by the Surfs. Thank you, Lance. Valis Nova gave out 10 community gift subs. Thank you so much. Rude Dog 2525 resubscribed with Prime, subscriber for 29 months. And the Django Fett resubscribed with Prime, subscriber for 10 months. And that's it. In terms of what I want to promote, just I'm getting back in the swing of things, and hopefully I'll have some really good, cool things to promote in the coming weeks. If you want, check out my CES coverage on Mashable. And I guess who should we raid, Mike?
Want to do Amy C3?
Sure, let's do that. I'm hitting that start raid button. All right, Mike. It was a pleasure to see you again.
Happy to have you
such
back.
a long
Yeah, happy to be in the swing of things again. It's nice to be back, honestly.
Yep. And I'm gonna hit that start raid button, and it's a pleasure to see all of you back here on the chat. So many of you came for my first show of the year and the second show for Leftist Mafia of the year.
Great showing.
Yeah, that's not easy to do when you take weeks off for people to come back as if we never skipped a day.
Right. I appreciate it.
All right, hit that raid now button. Are you ready, Mike?
I'm ready.
All right, peace, everybody.
You take care. We'll see you next Thursday.